drifting across the pitch, but it is just about clearing now, and I say just about, as the Celtic players gather together in their pre-match huddle. Rangers are already set and ready to go. Rangers in their blue shirts, their white shorts and their blue socks. Celtic, of course, in their traditional home kit as well. The green and white hoops, the white shorts and the white socks. Pat Niven, former Scotland winger, alongside me. Where is this game going to be won and lost?
Very difficult to know. I mean, certainly Rangers don't give too many goals away. I've been talking about that this weekend quite a bit. And it's whether they can stop the likes of Furuhashi. I'm very impressed by Kuhn since he's come in. The work rate at Celtic has been fantastic. However, Rangers are an improved group. It's very, very difficult to call this game. There doesn't seem to be much in between them. So it may well be that these fans in here think they can make the difference. They're making enough noise.
So it will be Rangers to get us underway. A reminder of how things stand at the top of the Scottish Premiership as Rangers do get us underway here at Ibrox. Celtic sit top of the table. They're a point ahead of Rangers. Rangers have a game in hand. That's against Dundee on Wednesday. Then there's the final weekend of the regular season coming up next weekend. As Cyril Dessers chases that ball down, it's cleared away by Joe Hart at the back for Celtic. And Celtic racing down this left-hand side, and the ricochet's in! The clearance into the back of the net! What a start for Celtic! Absolutely remarkable! Dyson Maeda coming down the left-hand side, closing down that clearance inside the opening 30 seconds, and the ricochet bounces off him and flies past Jack Butland into the back of the Rangers net, and Rangers are already lined up, ready to kick off again. Ibrox absolutely stunned.
Well, I've seen some incredible starts to some games in my life. It's a long way short of... I can't believe what I've actually seen there. Now, we've actually seen one quite recently where at Liverpool, wasn't it? But they tried to clear the ball, comes off the attacker. But this time, Rangers were slightly sleepy in defence there. Tavernier didn't realise that Maeda closed them down so quickly. But that's what Maeda does. We were talking about Ange Postecoglou style. That's it in a nutshell.
Unbelievable. 22 seconds it took for Celtic to take the lead here at Ibrox. Nightmare start for Rangers as they come down this left-hand side with Fabio Silva on loan from Wolves. Tom Lawrence will play it off Alistair Johnston, almost bounces out for the corner. Johnston does well. Little 1-2 and Celtic will clear away from the back. Well, Ibrox has found its voice again, but my word, we've had some remarkable moments in on-firm clashes over the years, but Celtic couldn't dreamt of a better start.
I'm not sure if there ever has been a quicker one. I certainly can't remember a quicker one. It's such a weird goal as well, but it underlines the energy that it started with. And here's Maeda again having another go at Tavernier.
Down the left-hand side, up against the Rangers captain. Couple of step-overs from Dyson Maeda, who has scored inside the opening 22 seconds here at Ibrox for Celtic as they play the ball into the area. Flies behind, and it will be a goal kick to Rangers. Well, Philippe Clement, the Rangers manager, is standing on the edge of his technical area, hands in his pockets. I'll tell you what, we talk about plan A, plan B, plan C. I'm sure that wasn't even in plan Z for Philippe Clement to concede like that inside the opening 22 seconds.
Well, certainly Celtic have been told by the manager, go out, high tempo, close down. Well, that worked with bells on it, but even they couldn't have expected so much. And we were talking about the incredibly quick players that got, the Japanese players in particular. Well, Maeda, he's known probably as the best at closing down in this team, and he's really worked for him.
Well, he's 3 seconds shy of the quickest goal in an Old Firm derby as Rangers play the ball into the area. Chris Sutton scored inside 19 seconds back in 2002, but I tell you what.
Well, City's downstairs before, we were having a chat with him. You'd have thought his record was under real danger there.
He would have been looking at his watch, I'm sure, just sitting along this gantry away to our right. Chris Sutton, as Rangers have the throw deep inside the Celtic half. What a start for Celtic, leading by a goal to nil. We played 3.5 minutes here on 5 Live as Fabio Silva flicks the ball on for Rangers, and it's all the way through with Joe Hart, whose penalty area is still strewn on that right-hand side with blue ticker tape. But it's Celtic fans, not inside this ground, but listening to us and watching on all across Scotland, who will be celebrating that early goal from Dyson Maeda as the ball is back with Joe Hart, all in bright yellow for Celtic. We'll take you through the run-up to the moment, but I don't dare to switch away from the play for a second. Rangers win a throw out on that right-hand side, and the first decision of the game for our referee, John Beaton. Is it just going to be a free kick? Is it going to be more? It will just be the set piece, and Rangers have it on the wide right.
In a dangerous area, and it's 2 or 3 times Celtic have tried to play it out from the back. Now they've just watched Rangers being closed down and suffering. Well, they've been caught on it. With Scales in this occasion was caught on the ball, and it gives a chance for Tavernier to put the ball in the middle. And if you're listening in, your Rangers support is probably out with his normal shooting distance, but his delivery is usually very good.
Yeah, a little bit wide for James Tavernier in terms of a shot. Of course, he scored that wonderful free kick at Celtic Park back in December. A game that Rangers lost. They've lost both Old Firm clashes this season. As Tavernier swings it in right-footed, and it's straight into the arms of Joe Hart. So let's risk it and take you through the lineups. For Rangers, Butland in goal. The back four of Tavernier, Goldson, Suter and Sterling. Ahead of them, Diamande and Lundstrom, with Wright, Lawrence and Silva supporting Dessers up front as Kyogo plays it forwards, looking for the run of Maida, but that ball will spin behind for a Rangers goal kick. So Celtic with Hart in goal. The back four of Johnston, Kartovikas, Scales and Taylor. Ahead of them, O'Reilly, Iwata and Hatate, with Kuhn, Kyogo and Maida, who scored inside the opening 22 seconds, charging down the clearance from Tavernier, ricocheting into the goal up front for Celtic. Here is Diamande for Rangers, midway through the Rangers half. Celtic, knowing a victory would take them 4 points clear of Rangers at the top of the Scottish Premiership. Rangers would still have a game in hand, but with the final derby of the season to come at Celtic Park after the split, this would be huge. Still so much time to play, but they knew coming into this game, both sides, as Rangers win a free kick with Sterling right in front of us. They knew how key this was. A win for either side would be huge. Both managers trying to play it down, incidentally, in the build-up to this. Oh, nothing's decided. It's not a decisive game. Objectively, it's very, very likely to be, particularly if either side wins. And at the moment, with Rangers in possession, it's Celtic who lead 1-0.
Yeah, and nobody was listening to what they said. We were saying that. Interesting that he was going over that far side with Tavernier. He's such an important player for Rangers. And in these Old Firm games, they have been important moments that Celtic know they have to stop him getting forward, that they have to stop him creating from there. And that's why Maeda is out there trying to push him the other direction. That battle between the two, which the first blow has been struck by Maeda, that will be one of the most, if not the most important battles in this game.
Rangers in possession just outside their own penalty area. Here is Goldson, brings it forward to Tavernier, the captain, on that right hand side, and now in field to Diamande. Well pressured, but will be able to retrieve possession, Rangers, and send it out to this left-hand side, and Suter, and now Sterling picks it up. Good ball to find Dessers on the turn inside the area, well held up by Scales at the back for Celtic, and Kartovikas gets the foot in, and Johnston will be able to clear, and it's a decent ball as well. And here come Rangers down the right-hand side. Celtic, I should say, with Kuhn dispossessed, and in the end commits the foul as he loses the ball. And Rangers will get things moving quickly. Pat Niven.
Well, certainly a wee bit of Rangers having a little bit more of the ball in the midfield here, but Celtic looking incredibly dangerous on the break, very quick. We know that they've got that speed with Furuhashi, but on this right hand side, he's shown that he's a very, very good player when he gets on the ball as well. And we've said enough about Maeda, so Rangers need to press, but there's always that danger of Celtic being very good in the counter press.
Celtic leading at Ibrox by a goal to 0. 8 minutes played. The goal after 22 seconds from Daizen Maeda here on 5 Live, as the ball is played straight out of play by Tomoki Iwata for Celtic, and Rangers have the throw midway through the Celtic half. Lawrence will leave it for Dujon Sterling, who takes it right in front of Brendan Rodgers, who has a remarkable run in Old Firm derbies as Celtic boss. The best win ratio, 80% of any manager in major competitions. That's for either club. Has lost just one of his 15 in charge, and he's won both against Rangers this season, as challenge on the far side on Scott Wright is allowed to go by our referee John Beaton. Ibrox doesn't like that. Celtic in possession, Rangers win the throw, but
three massive tackles go in there, and the referee wants the game to flow a little bit. He's let the first one go. He must have been tempted to blow up for that. Let the second one go, and then when the third tackle came in, he thought, this could get out of hand here, so he's blown up. And I think he's not going to get carried away. We often say this about these games: if you get your cards out early, it's a Rodfrey run back, so he's trying to let it flow a little bit. He's not getting too carried away about it, trying not to be influenced too much by the noise in the background, but he certainly had to stop the game there.
Well, Scott Wright is gingerly up to his feet, and Rangers are in possession on this left-hand side. Interesting subplot with this referee, John Beaton, which I'll tell you about now as Rangers win another free kick now. Cameron Carter-Vickers for Celtic has kicked that ball away, then retreated very quickly. That is foolish. What's John Beaton going to do here? Is it going to be a talking to, a final warning? It is. He's saying we're seeing the gesture of the yellow card. He's raised one finger, he's gone one more, and that's a yellow. Should that have been a yellow anyway, Pat?
Do you know, for those who watched Anthony Gordon getting sent off for him, it's not too far away from that.
Here come Rangers, Fabio Silva down on the edge of the penalty area. He's rolling around, but even the Rangers fans didn't appeal for that. A couple of the Rangers players did though, Dessus included, along with Lawrence, but again John Beaton doesn't blow the whistle. Silva's still down. We do have VAR on the Scottish Premiership.
I think he has got an injury there. I think he's suggesting that his toe was trodden on. It doesn't look to me like he's acting. Whether he got a kick or a deliberate kick, I don't really know. But we'll have to see a replay. We're getting one here. I think it's unlikely. No, he's just fallen over.
So Silva is back up to his feet. I'll tell you what, Chris Sutton's only 2 seconds fastest because they have just retimed that goal. 21 seconds for Dyson Maeda.
Incredible. I mean, an unbelievable stuff. But often there are games you come to and you think, well, you look forward to it so much, but you know, the teams are so scared of each other. But if you get an early goal, it just loosens it up. It gets everyone going. There's no way Rangers can sit back. No way anyone's sitting here looking for a draw now. This game will be more open because of that early goal.
Ball headed forward for Rangers. Dessus will chase, shepherded behind by Cameron Carter-Vickers. So let's go through this little subplot with our referee, because it's quite interesting. Brendan Rodgers is back today from a one-game touchline ban for criticising John Beaton when he was the VAR in their defeat at Hearts last month. Now, he was asked about this obviously in his press conference and said, you know, look, he's one of the top referees, I'm comfortable with the appointment. He had complained about incompetence on the day for the officials as Jack Butland's clearance is charged down, that time by Kyogo. Rangers playing dangerously with those clearances. I mean, that time it just took a little nick off Kyogo and managed to make it out of the penalty area, but that's exactly how they conceded inside the opening 21 seconds when Maeda charged down Tavernier's clearance as Rangers win another free kick. Fabio Silva going down, he's frustrated. Philippe Clement doesn't look frustrated on the touchline. He's a very calm manager, but he does turn away and walk back to his dugout, which I think is his way of expressing frustration.
The referee's given a free kick against Carter-Vickers after saying he's only got one more chance. I don't think it was a particularly bad foul there. There might have been a little bit of a nudge, no more than that. But every single time Carter-Vickers gets close to the ball now, every single Rangers fan in here will make sure the referee knows about it.
A frenetic start here at Ibrox. Celtic it is who lead, as they have done since the opening 21 seconds, and they're coming down the left-hand side again, and Maeda plays the ball into the area, fizzes just in front of Kyogo and goes behind for a Rangers goal kick. 12 minutes played, Celtic lead 1-0.
Well, once again, ball played behind Tavernier, wasn't quick enough. Maeda got beyond and there, got across in, and Furuhashi, who we talked about beforehand, usually gets into that space around about the 6-yard line. He was a yard short of it, or Celtic would have had a second.
O'Reilly gets a foot on the ball for Celtic, but it spins to John Lundstrom. Plays the long ball over the top for Rangers, looking for the run of Fabio Silva. Johnston under pressure, defends it well in the end. The Celtic right back and clears out a play for a Rangers throw.
It's worth underlining as well, it is windy out there and it's swirling, so the ball's doing some strange things. So if a ball's played long, you might as well chase it. It will confuse defenders, and that's part of what happened with the opening goal.
Ball is played through by Hatate for Celtic, but gets a deflection and will go out of play for a Celtic throw midway through their own half. Rangers 0, Celtic 1 here on BBC Radio 5 Live. A scoreline which, as things stand, with plenty of time to play, is taking Celtic 4 points clear at the top of the Scottish Premiership. Rangers still with that game in hand, but as we say, the final Old Firm derby of the season, post-split, when the top 6 and the bottom 6 play each other to finish off the Scottish Premiership season. That derby will be at Celtic Park. This would put Celtic in a very, very strong position indeed, as they look to make it 12 of the last 13 Scottish Premiership titles. As Sousa clears away at the back. They're having to avoid a light blue poncho that is drifting around outside the penalty area there. No player seems interested or really can break their concentration enough to get it out of play. You just wonder if the referee might stop play and notice it. I mean, it is quite a big obstruction if somebody gets into that Rangers penalty area.
Well, there's certainly a problem there. I think it was Hatate who got it caught up in his feet, and it's one of those things that could put a player off and could lead to a goal.
We're doing another beach ball scenario. It's rather the size of a deflated beach ball, and again having to play around it right now as Butland clears away for Rangers. But the game is so absorbing, I think nobody wants to take their eyes off it or break their concentration. Maybe that does include the referee, John Beaton, but somebody's got to get rid of that. If the ball hits that in the penalty area, then they've got a real decision to make as the whistle goes.
But Butland should go and get it now. He's got a free kick. Butland he's just leaving it there. And anyway, we're not going about this strange push. Yeah, Butland has finally got it. Everybody was watching a piece of plastic instead of watching the game there. It's gone now.
Yep, he's tucked it away behind the advertising hoardings, and now he'll come and take this free kick. So 15 minutes gone, Rangers 0, Celtic 1 as Butland sends it long up towards the Rangers striker Dessus, tussling with Cameron Carter-Vickers. Ball bounces towards Fabio Silva, who brings it down inside the penalty area on the turn, can't get the shot away. And Rangers will play it out to this right-hand side, and Nicholas Kuhn is well charged down by Dujon Sterling. Big roar from Ibrox there, but Sterling gesturing with both hands. Is that towards his teammates? Is that towards himself? Because it has been a hugely frustrating start to this game for Rangers. They trail 1-0, Celtic scoring inside the opening 21 seconds. I
think there's a frustration if you want to get on the ball, get it down and play some passes, and it's difficult to do it because there's no space on the pitch yet. This is what happens at the start of many games, but particularly games between Celtic and Rangers. Gaps will open up and players will get a little bit of space.
Lundstrom's ball into the penalty area for Rangers, cleared away by Celtic. Silva won't pick it up for Rangers. Dujon Sterling is there ahead of Nicholas Kuhn. Again, Rangers win a free kick. They've all gone Rangers' way so far. There are these little niggly fouls from Celtic. Celtic who are leading by a goal to nil. As Iwata clears the ball away, out of play, off Tom Lawrence, and it will be a throw to Celtic. Pat Niven.
Yeah, it's a good battle between Lawrence and Iwata just now. Lawrence, a good creative player for Rangers, had a really good season. Iwata coming in instead of the Celtic captain, so a lot of eyes on him at the moment. It's been a battling performance from him so far. He's done okay.
Ball played forward by Kyogo Furuhashi, but too much on it. Nicholas Kuhn won't reach it, and it's all the way through with Jack Butland. Yes, if you're just joining us here on 5 Live, Celtic captain Callum McGregor on the bench for the first time since the end of February. Not fit enough to start as Celtic win possession, and it's brought forward by Taylor, collected by Iwata, and now O'Reilly will pick it up. Right-hand side of the penalty area, Kuhn now collects for Celtic. Plays the ball in, it's blocked away by Rangers, and it will be a Celtic throw. Celtic who lead by a goal to nil.
It's the first time probably in the game that Celtic have had the kind of possession that they usually enjoy. In the final third, playing across the 18-yard line, a deal of control. They've not got McGregor, who's usually the base of that, but that's the first time, and it just shows you the game's beginning to calm down to basically a roar.
Celtic with the throw, nice little interchange between Johnston and O'Reilly, but intercepted by Fabio Silva for Rangers and cleared forward to Dessus. Cameron Carter-Vickers wins the header straight out of play. Rangers throw.
Yeah, and Rangers are looking at, they've not got players like Silva, very little ball in the final third, even right in the far side, on the right hand side, very little of the ball at his feet, having a chance to go at his defender, and Celtic nearly closed down Butland again.
It's Kyogo again, and Butland just about gets the clearance away. But as you say, Pat, it's one of these, the wind is still whipping up around Ibrox, blowing around another blue plastic poncho onto the pitch and the ticker tape as well, as Lawrence plays the ball forward, poor straight into the arms of Joe Hart inside the penalty area when Dessus was free on the left. But he's got to get rid of that ball quicker, Butland. They've already conceded one when the clearance was charged down by Maida, and Kyogo's done that twice to Butland, and they've got away with both of them, Rangers, but they may not continue to do so.
Well, I'm not suggesting that Celtic's best player is Storm Kathleen. However, it's making a big difference, and sometimes you go to very old school tactics. If there's a lot of wind blowing, and it is swirling down there, players are uncomfortable on the ball, particularly goalkeepers, and that's what Celtic have made use of. So you've got to say, Brendan's told his team, Brendan Rodgers, make sure that if they take an extra touch, they pay for it.
Diamande with the late challenge there will be allowed to go as Celtic are still in possession. Maida's ball whipped across, and again we see the impact of the wind there as the ball goes straight out of play for a Rangers goal kick. Well, it's one of these where when he charged down the clearance, that wind helped him because it whipped it into the bottom corner before Butland could do anything. But it is going to be interesting in this second half because obviously when we get to the second half, Rangers will be playing with the wind rather than against it.
I don't know if you look in front of us, we've got all this blue ticker tape. It's swirling all over the place. There's no way to gauge which way this wind is going. So you just basically get the ball down, play it, control it as quick as you can, and don't dawdle on it.
So Rangers in possession, 19 minutes gone here at Ibrox. It's Celtic who lead in this huge Old Firm clash, the biggest meeting in the league between these two in well over a decade because of what is riding on it as Dujon Sterling is pulled back, and that will be the first yellow card of the game, and it's gone to Celtic's Nicholas Kuhn.
Slightly harsh on Kuhn there. I mean, it just got in the way slightly as Sterling was behind him, and Sterling didn't go down or anything. He just turned to the referee, held out his hands. There was no drag back or pull, just got his legs entangled. So it's that's a mild yellow, it has to be said.
Ball over the top, has too much on it for Fabio Silva, but he will chase. Cameron Carter-Vickers across quickly and uses his body to try and shepherd the ball behind, and Fabio Silva is penalised. The on loan Wolves forward, and Celtic will have a free kick. And it is one of those, just going back to that yellow card for Kuhn there, Sterling's been brought down a few times down that left-hand side. Is it one of those where the referee's almost totting up, you know, kind of how many times a team have done that, and then somebody does it and you go, right, yellow card, because that really was Kuhn's first foul of the game.
Yeah, grotesquely unfair, because you're right, it's not been him that's been creating fouls against Sterling, and he has had 3 or 4, you're correct, against him. But interesting watching Rangers. They're getting quite frustrated, but they know that they're beginning to learn how to use this wind as well. They're playing it up into the corners. Dessers is chasing everything down.
Nice little interchange between Iwata and Hatate. Rangers get a foot in, but it's broken to Taylor on the left-hand side for Celtic, has Maida ahead of him and does now find Celtic's goal scorer, Dyson Maida. Dribbling towards the penalty area, he's forced back, goes for the 1-2, good interception by Diamande for Rangers, and Lundstrom will race forward now for the home side, and he's roared on by 50,000 inside Ibrox, but again the pass is too strong, goes through to Joe Hart, and that again, you know, that pass is along the ground, and is that the weight from Lundstrom, or has the wind even caught it there?
I think it makes people think about it. Interesting watching Dessers run. He continually runs onto Carter-Vickers. Carter-Vickers is a big, strong player. You would think he'd go on the scales. The younger player on the other side who's already, he's had a good season for Celtic, but you've got to ask him questions as well. But so far, Dessers keeps on running towards Carter-Vickers. It's been a good battle, but so far, Carter-Vickers is winning.
Good challenges by both sides over on that far side. Ultimately, Scott Wright loses it for Rangers. And here comes Celtic once more. Iwata plays it to Cameron Carter-Vickers, who's over the halfway line, pulls it back to Alistair Johnston, who of course was involved in that most controversial moment of the derby back at Celtic Park in December, the potential handball where he really could have given away a penalty. Then belatedly they found there was an offside in the build-up, but VAR had already decided it wasn't a penalty for handball. As Dessers is trying to get in behind here, Carter-Vickers has it, lays it back to Joe Hart, clears the ball away. Hart for Celtic, back towards the halfway line. Goldson hits it forwards, Scott Wright will pick it up for Rangers, sends it back to Goldson. You can hear the frustration around Ibrox. Every time Rangers play the ball back, they are desperate to get back on level terms, having conceded that goal to Celtic inside the opening 21 seconds. They've won another free kick midway through the Celtic half.
They're noticing this now, the Rangers players, understandably. You know, if it's going to be a 50-50 with the noise behind them, they're probably going to get a decision in each one of those, and they're getting a lot of fouls now and kind of semi-dangerous positions, not right on the 18-yard line, but you know, mid the Celtic half and a little bit further on than that. It's whether they can make good capital out of it.
Tavernier plays the free kick low this time. Silva trying to get there. Got a ricochet, and it will be a corner. Did well to reach that Fabio Silva down by the byline. And the ricochet was off a green and white body, and it will be a corner to Rangers over on the far side. And Diamande is going over to take it, and he is roared on by those Rangers fans in the corner.
You've got to put this on top of the goalkeeper. With that amount of wind out there, and it's whipped in, the keepers hate that. Could go anywhere.
Diamande struggling to keep the ball on the quadrant at the moment to take this corner because of that wind, but he does so now. Both arms in the air for the Rangers man. Plenty of movement inside the 6-yard box, and the Hodder is over from Connor Goldson. Well, it was a brilliant run. He came in from the right-hand side of the 6-yard box, meets the ball inside that 6-yard box and sends it just over the bar. Big chance for 1-1.
Yeah, it seemed to come off just about his shoulder, you know, maybe his neck area. He didn't get enough on the head. A clean head there, and it was a goal because it was spinning in. He was only 4 or 5 yards out. Keeper could not come for that one. And maybe the wind worked against Connor Golson on that occasion.
Greg Taylor plays the ball forward for Celtic. Minder, their goal scorer, will pick it up. Pressured by Tavernier, so sends it back to Taylor. He plays it to O'Reilly in the centre circle, headed forward by Kuhn. Rangers have to be careful here, and Goldson is. Lundstrom then gets a toe on it and sends it forward, and Fabio Silva will chase down this left-hand side through the blue ticker tape that still is strewn across the pitch, but the ball in field is poor to Sterling. He won't reach it, and Celtic bring it forward once more. Here is Kuhn, has O'Reilly as the option. O'Reilly on the turn, playing with those socks down around his calves on the halfway line. Celtic leading by a goal to nil, heading 4 points clear at the top of the Scottish Premiership, and still with the derby at Celtic Park to come after the split. But we have plenty of time to play here at Ibrox as Minder comes down the left-hand side, cleared away by Tavernier. Celtic throw.
Having a tough time, Tavernier, isn't he? He's getting pushed back time and time again. Maurice he doesn't look, he doesn't think. He gets the ball, pinches his earbacks and goes for it because he knows he's got more pace than Tavernier.
Here comes Celtic once again. Johnston will play it forward, and now inside the area is Minder. Good save by Butland and cleared away by Sterling. More nervy moments for Rangers at the back as Celtic push for a second here at Ibrox on 5 Live. Johnston will pick it up on this right-hand side, pressured by Fabio Silva. Pulls it back to O'Reilly, and now in field to Kuhn. One of their January arrivals will square it to Hatate, who drives just wide. Butland might have had it covered, but at the moment Celtic are on top, Pat.
2 brilliant chances there, and often you get Hatate in those sort of positions, you know, they usually get in the corner there, usually makes the keeper make a save. But I was thinking the chance just before that with Maeda, that was a better chance. He's got himself played through, and he's at an angle, grant him that. Butland's got the angles right, but he's side-footed it. He's got to get more power than that against a good goalkeeper like Butland.
Well, England manager Gareth Southgate is here. Jack Butland not making the latest squad, and spoke about his disappointment of that. He'll be pleased at least to have made that save as Tom Lawrence drives. Little ricochet on the edge of the area. Celtic will pick it up and clear away up towards halfway through O'Reilly. Ball almost picked up by Nicholas Cooney. Did really well to keep that in, but can only play it straight into the Rangers penalty area, where Jack Butland, all in bright orange, bowls it out underarm to Connor Goldson. And now here is John Suter. Lundstrom picks it up for Rangers, who trail by a goal to nil. Rangers, who have won only one of the last 9 Old Firm clashes, but we're saying that Philippe Clement, for the 2 they've lost this season, wasn't in charge for the first one at Ibrox. This is his first home Old Firm clash. As the ball is cleared away by Celtic, but will be played to Dessers, and now here is Lawrence, can't find Diamande, and Diamande's committed the foul there on Hatate, just on the edge of the D, and it will be a free kick to Celtic, who lead still by a goal to nil here on 5 Live. 27 minutes gone at Ibrox in this first half.
Well, 27 minutes gone, and you're beginning to see the odd little gap that the players can get, the ones that want the ball on the deck, the ones that can make things happen. Lawrence has got a shot away there, it was well done there, but he's beginning to find a little bit of space. For Celtic, O'Reilly, he's a quality player. He's just so elegant in the middle of that park there. For the first 20 minutes, hardly got a kick of the ball, but he's worked hard. Now the gaps are beginning to open, and he is beginning to spray some very, very interesting balls for Celtic.
Celtic with the throw over on the far side, and that's it, isn't it? You know, we've talked about Callum McGregor, the Celtic captain, being on the bench. You know, the Celtic midfield were always going to have to step up in his absence. He might be fit enough to come on, and so far they're doing that. But it's Rangers coming forward. Diamande plays it forward. Fabio Silva on the charge. Joe Hart comes out, jumps high and claims.
There's a few frustrated calls from Rangers fans there. You know, that wasn't exactly a pass. That was more an up and under.
Here goes Kuhn for Celtic, challenged by Sterling. Lundstrom will allow it to bounce and play it back calmly to John Suter. Steps away from Matt O'Reilly and plays it forwards as Rangers look to build down that central position. The foul is made, and Rangers will have the free kick inside the centre circle. Scott Wright going down, coming in from that right-hand side, and the Rangers get things moving once more. trailing by a goal to nil.
It tells you a wee story, Vicky, that Wright has had to come in once again for the Hash to try to close down. But Wright's not getting any ball on the right hand side there, so he's coming in the pitch, and I'm not sure that's what his manager wants.
Good clearance over his shoulder by Diamande. Dessus will play it out to this left-hand side. In fact, it got a Celtic boot on it first, goes out of play for a Rangers, though. Again, they get play moving so quickly. Rangers looking to win the Scottish Premiership for the first time since 2021, and only the second time in 13 years. Of course, during that time, they suffered most financial difficulties and were demoted to the bottom tier of Scottish football, and is one of the reasons why Celtic have been so dominant in recent years. But this is the closest this title race has been at this stage in well over a decade. There is so much riding on this Old Firm clash, and it's Celtic on 5 Live, who with half an hour gone here at Ibrox lead by a goal to nil. Goal scored inside 21 seconds. Diamande closing down Tavernier's clearance, ricocheting wickedly into the net across goal. Celtic it is, who are heading 4 points clear at the top of the Scottish Premiership. Rangers have a game in hand, that's against Dundee on Wednesday, but the final Old Firm derby of the season is at Celtic Park. This would put Celtic in a very, very strong position to retain the title as they knock it around at the back. Ibrox want the Rangers players to close down, but they've just waited for the error, which has been made. But Maida's stolen it, and here goes Maida midway through the Rangers half. Good run from Diamande. This lovely turn will take it to Kearns. Ball into the area, brilliant save by Butland. Oh, that is a fabulous stop. Matt O'Reilly had made the run inside the area. It was a powerful header, and Butland has pulled out the save of the match.
Well, that little period of play there is just showing you the difference between the two teams. Rangers will not close down high up the field. Let Celtic get decent possession. When it eventually goes to Rangers, they're not allowed to sit on it, and it led to the chance.
They played the corner short, 2v1. Rangers head the ball away inside the area. Picked up by Taylor, who plays it out to this right-hand side once more. Kuhn's delivery, plenty in there, ricochets, and Butland in the end will claim with Kyogo for a Hashi right in there, couldn't make contact. Rangers looking so nervy at the back, but they're coming down this right-hand side now. Celtic leading by a goal to nil here on 5 Live at Ibrox. Is that a handball by Fabio Silva? It was. And the whistle goes, and it's a free kick to Celtic.
The patrons of Ibrox are not happy, and understandably so. And Celtic have made 3 decent chances in the last 5 minutes or so. When the game slowed down a little bit, and they've been able to, checking for a possible handball penalty in the area there. It seemed to be ricocheting about quite a bit. And if they're stopping the game to have a look at it, and this would be a penalty for Celtic, not for Rangers, even though the ball's up the other end. That's a very worrying time for these Rangers fans, because, as you say correctly, Celtic have been the better team by some distance in these last 5 or 10 minutes, and Rangers haven't really created anything clear.
Now Ibrox has fallen silent. They are checking for a penalty to Celtic. The question is it a handball by Connor Goldson? And the referee is coming to the screen, and you can hear the groan around Ibrox because John Beaton is coming to the screen. He has to decide here whether this is a handball by Connor Goldson, and this could be very, very bad news indeed for Rangers.
You have Brendan Rodgers staring at him at a distance, trying to put as much pressure on as possible. Here he is.
Let's see, he makes the sign. It's a penalty to Celtic. And there is silence, and there is shock around Ibrox. No away fans in here, but they are really up against it now. Celtic with the chance to double their advantage before the break. What a moment this could be.
Huge amount of pressure on anyone taking a penalty kick, and it's a Celtic player, Matt Riley, looks as if he's walking up to take it. There are no Celtic fans in the vicinity, and he's looking at it. I'm watching it here, the penalty. We've just got a second look at it here. It's harsh, it has to be said, but his arm's up. It's an unusual position. It's got his elbow. By the letter of the law, it is a penalty kick. The referee's given it. If you're going to take a penalty kick in an Old Firm game, it's going to be pressured anyway. But if you're 1-0 up, maybe slightly less.
So here we go. Matt O'Reilly, whose header has already drawn a fabulous save from Jack Butland in this game. Now Butland, in front of Gareth Southgate, has to try and deny Matt O'Reilly from the spot. It's O'Reilly to put Celtic 2-0 up, and he does so Scotland. They are 2-0 up at Rangers before half-time.
Incredible. The way this game started, Celtic 100 miles an hour, Rangers battle, but they've not created much at all. In the last 4 or 5 minutes, Celtic have got a stranglehold on it. As soon as the play opened up, a bit of space opened up, Celtic started creating chances, and then the mayhem of the ball going all over the place. With that win, I think that's led to Connor Golson handling the ball in the penalty area. There is no complaints about that. It's a second goal now, great penalty kick, little dink, bordering on a Panenka. 2-0 for Celtic. What a long way back it is for Rangers now.
So Rangers it is to get us underway once more. 10 minutes plus added time to play in this first half. But there was so much hope coming into this game. As we have to say, there was going into the clash at Celtic Park. Back in December, they were 16 games unbeaten under Philippe Clement, and they'd had some tough runs in Europe in there as well. But Brendan Rodgers so often finds a way, even at a 50,000 strong Ibrox. His record in these games as Celtic manager is near impeccable. It's a love-hate relationship at times between him and the Celtic supporters. It has not been the season that many hoped and thought it would be. But this will go a long, long way to addressing that, and it will go pretty much all the way to addressing that if they are then able to close out the Scottish Premiership title. And they're coming down the left-hand side once again. Kyogo's in there, and the ball is behind.
Oh
There's
dear.
a big chance for Kyogo.
Although the Rangers fans are not happy at all. They're absolutely fuming. They realise now that their team has either been asked not to or is incapable of closing Celtic down. Carter Vickers is strolling about the ball. Rangers can't get a hold of it. Celtic at this point in time look utterly dominant.
Rangers coming forward once more. Fabio Silva is challenged, and the ball is all the way back with Joe Hart. Silva's down again. Now, it's kind of hard to tell whether the frustration is for what is a perceived foul or the fact that Silva's gone down again, because it really hasn't been his afternoon, even for the home fans and the home side.
To be fair, he's gone down far too easily. He has to understand different type of football here. There's going to be some tackles, there's going to be some coming together. Every time it happens, you don't roll about in the ground as if you're never going to be able to get back up again. It's not that kind of game.
Here goes Maida. He's lost the ball for Celtic on the left-hand side. Yes, this is the first Old Firm clash for the on-loan Wolves man, and I think you're spot on, Pat. You've got to be able to see, as the referee, John Beaton, stops the game. Now, it's Beaton there. Is he making a diving signal there? Basically saying, look, you need to stop diving because I'm not going to buy it. And that's it. Fabio Silva has to realise, as you say, Pat, you've got to look at the way that referee John Beaton is refereeing this game. Those sort of challenges and that sort of reaction, nobody else is doing it on the pitch. And I think you have to tune into that.
You're right. The players started trying to at the start, put a lot of pressure on him. He's not been going for it, so they get it. Silva has to get it as well, and he's got on with the game and not roll about every time.
Here comes Celtic once again. Kuhn's ball across, and Butland's filled it at the near post, and Kyogo trying to force it in on the angle can only fire it back into the arms of Jack Butland. At the moment, Pat, with 8 minutes to play until half-time, Rangers just need to get to the break at 2-0 down.
Yeah, they're hanging on by the fingertips, but they need to keep on attacking. The thing is, they don't seem to have any answers at any part of the pitch. But a goal between now and half-time would make a huge difference for Rangers if they could somehow get something.
Celtic have lost it outside their own penalty area. Poor play from Maida, who scored their opening goal here at Ibrox after 21 seconds. Ball is out of play, won't be reached by Sterling, but this is it. Listen to the noise around Ibrox, and it's every time now that Rangers make a mistake or even play the ball backwards.
It's actually incredible. We talk about the fact that there are no Celtic fans in here. The Rangers fans, because of their frustration of doing the job that Celtic fans would do. They're putting off their own players. Understandably, they're frustrated, but their own players now will start lacking in belief, because every time they give the ball away, they're getting booed, their own players. That doesn't help you if you're trying to play in a confident way.
Kyogo down, that's what those cheers were for, but Celtic do win the free kick. And I think this is the thing as well. I mean, we saw it in patches at Celtic Park when Rangers were pushing for that late equaliser with 10 men. When you don't have away fans as well to try and sing over and be louder than. You don't have that rivalry between the supporters either, and so actually all your emotion is focused on your own team, whether it's positive or negative, and at the moment for Rangers it's negative.
Well, the Rangers fans are right here. Well, I'll tell you in a minute why they're right.
O'Reilly's coming forward, plays it through the centre, good sliding interception by Suter, so it won't reach Kyogo. Now Silva's gone down again, clutching his face, punching the crowd. Alistair Johnston, who was in there, is laughing. Rangers have just stopped play as referee John Beaton then stops play to come over and see if Fabio Silva's all right. This is going to be interesting. We do have VAR. Silva is clearly insinuating that he's been struck in the face by Alistair Johnston. Johnston is still laughing about it. Now he's gesturing towards Fabio Silva. Fabio Silva's now got up very quickly. He's talking to John Beaton. Mohamed Diamandi of Rangers is now coming over to the official as well. Now let's see. Is it going to be a booking for Alistair Johnston? That's interesting. I mean,
I don't think the referee saw that one. It's a very weird one. So you've got. I mean, the referee's got to slow down. He thinks that's a deliberate elbow or whatever to the face. He's got to have a little look at it. Well, it's too late now because Rangers have restarted.
Yeah, VAR had a look to see if it was violent conduct, but he didn't even blow the whistle there initially. He only seemed to blow it because Fabio Silva went down. Then Fabio Silva was furious, and having just said to Fabio Silva, look, I'm not going to get involved with your diving, he then books Alistair Johnston. Anyway.
That's an offer. Don't trust me, it's like this. All firm games where things happen.
It is being played at 100 miles an hour here on 5 Live as that ball forward from Kun won't reach Kyogo, and Diamande has it. Rangers trailing by 2-0. 5 minutes plus added time to play in the first half here at Ibrox, and again the frustration just because Rangers pause now even more because Tavernier's lost it, and it might be even more now because Kyogo is into the penalty area. Good sliding block by Goldson, and Suter puts it out of play, but these are the boos for their own team from the Rangers fans.
All over the place, absolutely all over the place on that Rangers back line now. They've lost the control, the structure that what Clement has been working on all the time that he's been here is completely gone now. They're not working as a team in the midfield, but the biggest frustration, and I mean the very biggest frustration for Rangers fans, is when Celtic get at the back, they're not closing down. Dessers is chasing shadows, but it's the 3 or 4 men that are passing the ball between them. The midfield are not helping them. They're standing off. They can't do that. They're 2 goals down. They've got to get in the front foot.
Sterling clears forward, nice layoff by Dessers, bounces over the head of Tom Lawrence, but he will retain possession on the halfway line. Here comes Diamande, Rangers stringing some passes together. Diamande is then fouled, immediate yellow card for Matt O'Reilly, and it will be a free kick to Rangers a third of the way inside the Celtic half.
Again, I wasn't a huge amount out for O'Reilly. He slid in a little bit, but there's a number of players out there that every time that they're touched at all, they're making huge amounts out of it, lots of it rolling about. It's a wee bit sad to see because usually these games are a little bit more robust. People just got on with it.
Well, it's been a tough afternoon for James Tavernier. What can he do from this free kick? Swings it into the edge of the penalty area, headed across, won't fall for Lawrence, cleared away by Scales for Celtic, but they're very deep, the green and white shirts, and Sterling can play it back into the area. Dessers is in there, cleared away by Johnston. It will be a Rangers corner. How they need a goal here before half time to pull a goal back. Celtic leading by 2-0.
What a huge lift it would give them because they've been outplayed for 20 minutes or so at least, but they're not creating anything. Certainly the best piece of creation has been from the corner kick before when Goldson had half a chance, and as we speak, is that Suter running towards it? He's got a cut in his head. So yeah, that's quite a lot of claret coming off the top of his head there. It's the last thing they need is any player to be off, and they've got a chance of a corner kick to put in the box, Rangers, but they're going to have to get on with it with 10 men.
Yeah, but he's going to have to be patched up here as Rangers do have this set piece swung in towards the far post, and Joe Hart has to punch away from right underneath his crossbar. It will be another corner to Rangers from the far side this time.
Well, that was going in without a doubt, but Joe Hart had to keep his eye on it, and he knows it's swirling all over the place. A real good pace just under the crossbar. Decent save there from Joe Hart.
So Suter's still being patched up, so Rangers temporarily down to 10 as they take this second corner in quick succession from the right-hand side. It's swung in by Diamande, it's cleared away by Celtic inside the 6-yard box, picked up by Tavernier midway through the Celtic half, plays it back in, and Lundstrom slipped just inside the penalty area as he looked to retrieve that ball. but...
Well, look, interesting what Rangers are doing just now. Dessers is saying to his team, come on, close Celtic down here. There's a throw in right down beside the corner flag where Celtic are defended. But are Rangers capable of closing down that high, particularly against 10 men?
Suter is still being patched up here. That's why Rangers are temporarily down to 10. He's taking his shirt off. He's trying to clean the blood off his hands as well. And that's a short back pass. Button will get there ahead of Kyogo. Johnston heads it forward just inside his own half for Celtic. Diamande brings it down for Rangers. Lundstrom will play it forward, and now Tom Lawrence on the turn skips away from the challengers, but eventually overruns it. Will be cleared away by Scales for Celtic up towards Maida. Diamande's got a foot in. Suter still being patched up. Diamande brought down, takes the free kick quickly, not really from where he was brought down, but referee John Beaton will let it go, and Rangers come forward down the left-hand side once more. This is difficult for them, Pat, because of course they want to push forward as we approach half-time, but they're aware that if they lose the ball, they're down a centre-half, because Suter is still now with a huge bandage on, getting patched up, but they could be in down this right-hand side. Tavernier dispossessed just inside the area, and Hart will clear away as he's charged down out to the left-hand side. Probably Rangers' best spell in about 20 minutes or so, and they're doing it temporarily with 10 men.
Well, you remember, that's exactly what they did in the game of Celtic Park. They were better with 10.
But they've given the ball away just as Suter gets back on the pitch, but he's out of position. Here is Kyogo, held up by Goldson. Suter back now in that Rangers defence. Brought forward now once more by Celtic, and the ball is fired behind by Hatate from the edge of the area. He was dashing in there, claimed it got a deflection, slipped as he took the shot on the edge of the D, and Rangers will bring it away. We're approaching out of time at the end of this first half. Suter back on the pitch, Rangers back up to 11, but they trail Celtic here at Ibrox on 5 Live.
I think we're contractually obliged to mention that Suter's got a bandage on that looks like Terry Butcher.
He does indeed. 2 minutes of added time at the end of this first half as Rangers come forward. Fabio Silva plays it off Greg Taylor. It'll come back to Silva. He tried to find Dessers. That was a good delivery, cut out by Cameron Carter-Vickers, and O'Reilly, who scored from the spot to put Celtic 2-0 up in this first half, is trying to bring it down the right-hand side. Just about gets the better of Dessers, but can't get the better of Lawrence, who comes across to win it for Rangers, and now Diamande plays it forward. Midway through the Celtic half, central position. Diamande once again to right. He's come central. Dessers inside the area, forced to Fabio Silva. Hart saves, doesn't know where the ball is. Silva's second effort is blocked. Forward by Sterling. Silva once more inside the area. Can he get a third shot away? He plays it into the Celtic player Kuhn, and Celtic clear, but only as far as Lundstrom. Rangers pushing to get a goal back before half-time. Lawrence to right, stabs it forward. It's poor. He doesn't get the purchase, and Ibrox roars its frustration and disapproval, because at the moment it's Celtic who lead by 2-0, and Celtic who are going 4 points clear at the top of the Scottish Premiership, and Celtic who are coming forward over the halfway line. It's slowed down by Iwata. They don't need to push it here. Taylor plays it forward to Iwata once more. Back to Greg Taylor, the former Rangers youngster. He interchanges passes with Scales, but this half couldn't have gone much more perfectly for Celtic, Pat.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, just that last 5 minutes or so, well done Rangers. They could have completely collapsed. They didn't. They got back into it there. But what I was mentioning to you before, you hear the Rangers fans, they're not closing high up the field. Now, it may well be that they're scared to do so because they think they're going to get played through. The Celtic are a better footballing team. But you have to do it. At some point, you've got to ask the question of those defenders, Scales and Carter-Vickers. And so far, particularly Carter-Vickers, has been immense in this game.
Yes, Cameron Carter-Vickers for Celtic at the back has been a rock as Kuhn plays it forward, looking for Maida, cleared away by Tavernier. But there goes the half-time whistle, and listen to the reaction around Ibrox. They are not happy, because Rangers, who came into this game knowing it was huge in their bid to win only their second Scottish Premiership title in 13 years, are trailing by 2-0. They fell behind after 21 seconds. Dyson Maida closing down the clearance of Tavernier. It ricocheted off Maida, across goal and into the net. Matt O'Reilly making it 2-0 from the penalty spot after a handball by Goldson. And Pat Nevin, we have to be honest, Celtic could be further ahead.
They could be further ahead. I mean, Fabio Silva had a couple of chances near the end there, but every single game you got to see, space eventually opens up. There's a battle. Celtic chase got a good start, and to some degrees a lucky start as well. But when the space opened up, Celtic just looked to have that bit more quality, holding the ball that much better, and be able to create opportunities, and that's exactly what they did. It's 2, it could have been more than 2. Rangers come back into it a little bit near the end there, However, these Rangers fans, they know what's wrong. They've not had the quality, but they've not been able to close down at that level. They need to change it. Personnel, style, whatever. They're sitting here at Ibrox Park watching a real possibility of this league campaign getting away from them.
As it stands, Celtic are heading 4 points clear at the top of the Scottish Premiership. Rangers still have that game in hand, but with the final Old Firm derby of the season after the split coming at Celtic Park, this would very, very much put Celtic in the driving seat for that title. The biggest 45 minutes of manager Philippe Clement's Rangers career so far, coming up in this second half here on 5 Live, because at Ibrox at half-time, it's Rangers 0, Celtic 2.
So, Pat, we initially clocked Maeda's free goal at inside 22 seconds. Now it's inside 21 seconds. Do you think there's any chance we could get it inside 19 to beat Chris's record?
I think I know exactly where you're going there with that. Chrissy's going, no chance, absolutely not a chance in the world. Do you know what? It is lucky, right? Because it's, he's closed down and it could have gone anywhere. The point is, they planned that. They planned to close everything down, because it's not just that time. Furahashi's been closing down. Maeda's been making Tavernier's life a nightmare. Butland's been rushed every single time. So, yeah, it's lucky. But they worked for their luck and they planned for that possible luck. And you add on top of that the fact that Brendan Rodgers has said, it's a windy day out there. The ball's all over the place. Don't give people time on the ball. It's a very old school thing to say. It's worked for them, A, to get them the first goal, and arguably the second goal as well, because that ball's whipped in there, and normally that wouldn't have been handled by a centre-back in there, but because it's zipping all over the place there, it's gone onto Goldson's arm, and rest is history. Goal scored by a very, very calm-looking O'Reilly, who certainly when he was walking up to take it, I thought there's a lot of pressure on you. It's a big game, an Old Firm game. Well, there are one or two players out there just now that don't know as if they're under pressure. He's one of them, and certainly Cole Palmer seems to have the same sort of effect when he walks up to a penalty catch.
Yeah, as Vicky was saying, Pat, imagine Gareth Southgate is there to watch Jack Butland, who's been in England squads before. He was in the World Cup squad in 2018, and he's lost Sam Johnston and Nick Pope to injury, so there's a gap there for the third keeper. But actually, it's the other former England keeper at the other end, Joe Hart, who made a massive save just before half-time.
Yeah, he made a massive save before half-time. There was also one from a corner before that. It's no surprise that we're talking about corners, causing all sorts of difficulties. Keepers are hating this because it's been zipped in on top of them. So he had that one that he saved below the crossbar, but yeah, you're absolutely right. Rangers play through the middle. Dessers, who's having a battle royale with Carter Vickers, managed to put his physique in place that allowed the ball to fall for Fabio Silva, who got it on target. But you're right, he'd come out, Joe Hart, made himself very, very big, just got a bit of his body in the way, but he didn't stop there. He kept alert, and when he came again, there was two Celtic defenders and Hart right on top of Fabio Silva again, so the chance was snuffed out again. But I suppose, yeah, well done Joe Hart, not has had much to do as Butland's had to do, but he's done it very well. I think this is his last season he's going to be at Celtic Park, and he can go out in a high if he has another half like this, because he has not put a foot wrong.
Pat, Vicky, thank you very much indeed. So Rangers 0, Celtic 2, half-time. Of course, we'll bring you second half commentary on 5 Live Sport. It's Northampton 7, Munster 7 in the European Champions Cup Rugby last 16 tie. You can hear full commentary of that over on 5 Sports Extra. We'll be back there. We'll keep you up to date with the County Championship. We'll hear more from Max Verstappen after his victory at the Japanese Grand Prix. And our first look ahead to Manchester United Liverpool, which we're bringing you in full at 3:30 on 5 Live Sport this afternoon. We'll do it all after the news with Bethan Holmes.
Listen on BBC Sounds. This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
The Israeli military says it's withdrawn all ground troops on active manoeuvres from southern Gaza. Only one brigade remains there. It's unclear how possible plans for a ground offensive in the city of Rafah, where more than 1 million displaced Palestinians are sheltering, will be affected by the withdrawal. A spokesperson for the IDF has told the BBC the military is regrouping and conducting preparations for its next stage. In Egypt, talks aimed at securing a ceasefire and the release of hostages in Gaza are expected to resume exactly 6 months on since the October 7th attacks. In other news, a man in his 20s has been arrested on suspicion of murder after human remains were found at a nature reserve in Salford on Thursday. Specialists have been carrying out DNA tests to identify the victim. And hundreds of motorcyclists are taking part in a memorial ride this afternoon to honour the hairy biker Dave Myers, who died from cancer in February. The route will follow the North Yorkshire leg of the Hairy Bikers Go North TV show from Beverley to Scarborough. Cy King has thanked those taking part.
Tailenders. Much more than just a cricket podcast.
Loosely cricket-based, meaning we very rarely talk about world cricket.
Yes, but when we need to, we can do.
Boy, can we deliver. As England's greatest ever bowler, you don't need to do this podcast, but why do you? Welcome to Tailenders, a loosely cricket-based...
Tailenders, loosely cricket-based.
With podcast from me, G-Force, him, Felix White, him, Jimmy Anderson, Sachin Tendulkar distantly.
Tailenders.
Listen on BBC Sounds.
This is 5 Live Sport with Steve Crossman.
On 5 Live. Listen on BBC Sounds.
Rangers 0, Celtic 2, half-time in the Old Firm in the Scottish Premiership. Second half commentary on the way. Commentary on 5 Sports Extra right now in the round of 16 of the Champions Cup. Northampton, Munster. Chris Jones is watching.
Yeah, it's been a cracking start to this game. Almost halfway through the first half, Steve. Northampton 7, Munster 7. A try from Northampton, beautifully crafted. James Rahm under the post. When they play with tempo in the option 22, there are a few teams who execute like the Saints these days, but credit to Munster, they came back brilliantly. Sean O'Brien scored. Six Nations winner Jack Crowley popped over the goal. It's going end to end. Lovely day in Northampton. Great game unfolding here on Sports Extra. Northampton 7, Munster 7.
If you were listening to 5 Live yesterday morning, you'll have heard Holly Hamilton in for Patrick Keelty. One of her guests was the great Kevin Howells on Beat the Commentator on the subject of county cricket, which is the day job, Kevin, and that's a good job, isn't it, after that performance?
Yeah, I didn't do so well, did I? No. In fairness, let's move on. I tell you what, I wish I had some of that Northampton weather here in Manchester today. We had a late start again on the third day of the season, the third day of this opening round of matches, 12:30 for a big game, Lancashire versus defending champions Surrey. We started at 12:30. We were on the field for 15 minutes, and I'm afraid they've come off again. The rain has returned, which is a real disappointment because in what cricket we had yesterday, dramatic final session, Lancashire all out for 202, 9 wickets, falling to spin of all things. Cam Steele with 5 wickets. Dan Lawrence on his debut for Surrey picking up 4. Defending champions Surrey 15 for no wicket now in reply. Of course, Lancashire fielding the Australian test spinner Nathan Lyon and England's Tom Hartley. We've not seen them so far today, and I'm wondering whether we will because rain has stopped play. Quick rundown some other Division 1 scores. Weather disruption elsewhere, but not at Trent Bridge. A close game developing there. Essex 130 for 5, a lead of just 90 runs over Nottinghamshire. A hat-trick yesterday for Sam Cook in that one. In Birmingham, newly promoted Worcestershire, well, they're 35 for 1 second innings, lead their rivals Warwickshire by 65 runs, and Somerset are 84 for 1, and they trail Kent by 200 runs.
Thank you very much, Kevin. Patrick Keelty back next Saturday from 9 a.m. Very much worth listening to his show if you haven't already. Max Verstappen cruised to victory in the Japanese Grand Prix this morning, leading teammate Sergio Perez to a Red Bull 1-2. Here's Jenny Gow with the rest of the 5 Live F1 team.
Another Max Verstappen masterclass in front of the fans at Suzuka. Harry Benjamin, lead commentator, Alice Powell, F1 expert beside me. Harry, he was marvellous again.
He certainly was. It was usual business resumed, really, for Max Verstappen after, of course, retiring last time out in Australia. Back on top. Really, from the get-go at the beginning of the weekend, just looked superior, ahead of his teammate. And both Red Bulls were kind of fairly close together. A good improvement from Sergio Perez, but it wasn't to anyone's surprise that they sealed a 1-2 finish.
Yeah, and that's nice for them, isn't it, in front of their home fans, because they are powered by Honda. They supply the engine, and the fans poured into Suzuka to support the team.
It's always such an amazing atmosphere at Suzuka. So good. The crowd, they love it. They're dressing up. I mean, some of the outfits are hugely impressive, and I'm sure lots of money has been spent on the outfits. But no, the crowd loved it, and especially the fact that home hero on the grid, Yuki Tsunoda, was in the points.
Yeah, we'll come on to him in just a moment, but let's hear from Max Verstappen.
The car was a bit of a question mark going into the race, but I think we made the right calls before we went into qualifying, because it definitely helped the car also today. And that's why I think I could just push a little bit more, feel a little bit more comfortable with the balance of the car. And basically on every compound, every fuel load, from the start to the end of the race. I just felt good in the car.
So another win for Verstappen and Perez second. Third and fourth were the two Ferrari drivers of Sainz and Leclerc. And as you mentioned, Alice, Tsunoda finishing in 10th. And that's such a vital point, Harry, for the team RB, especially as they had a crash at the start of the race with their other driver, Daniel Ricciardo.
Yeah, that brought out the red flag, and we had to actually restart the race. Ricciardo involved with an incident with Alex Albon and the Williams, both drivers in the wall, okay and out of the car. But for those teams in the bottom half of the constructors' standings, crashes like that when spare parts are at a really high premium under a cost cap era is the last thing you need. On the other side, at least for RB, they did get Tsunoda scoring a crucial point, because at the moment in Formula One, the top 5 teams, if it finishes with no retirements from them, that locks out the top 10, and those are the point scoring positions. So when there is a retirement or there is a bit of a chaotic race and maybe a 9th or a 10th place is up for grabs, Tsunoda getting that 1 point could mean millions come the end of the year.
Well, China is our next stop in 2 weeks' time. Join us for that.
Thank you to Jenny and the rest of the F1 team. You can listen to the Checkered Flag podcast, wrapping it up right now on BBC Sounds. Elsewhere, British golfer Lottie Woad has become the first European to win the prestigious Augusta National Women's Amateur Championship. Rory McIlroy is in a share for 7th, 5 under par, heading into Sunday's final round of the Texas Open in San Antonio. He's 10 shots, though, behind the leader Ashkai Bhatia. Masters build-up all this week on 5 Live Sport. Commentary from Thursday across Sports Extra and 5 Live. Also overnight, Frankie Dettori rode 6 consecutive winners at Santa Anita in California. Cumulative odds for that was more than 77,000 to 1. Of course, he famously won all 7 races at Ascot back in 1996. Feels like a good time to mention next Saturday we'll be live all day from Aintree for the Grand National. That's for then. This is for now. Back to Ibrox shortly. Rangers 0, Celtic 2 at half-time. Once we're done with that, another historic football rivalry will be off to Old Trafford.
This is one of the great fixtures of English football, the rivalry between United and Liverpool.
Robson from the edge of the box shoots and scores. Dalglish, oh, splendid goal by Dalglish. Torres now turning away from Vidic, beating him easily, not fully fit Torres, and he's still skinning Vidic.
Oh my goodness, Steven Gerrard is sent off. He's been on the field 50 seconds.
Looks like it could get pretty fiery.
Chance for Rooney! Wayne Rooney to the roof of the net. That's a brilliant finish. Here comes Fernando Torres. Torres in the area. Scores! Brilliantly for Liverpool. Something out of nothing. Few in the world could have put that one away.
Liverpool 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7-0. A record win for Liverpool against Manchester United.
Oh, what a goal! Robbie Fowler, an absolute screamer from the angle. Schmeichel's nowhere near it.
Rooney scores! Salah, brilliant! Incisive from Liverpool. It's a hat-trick for Dimitar Berbatov.
Ahmad scores to take Eric Ten Hag's team into the FA Cup semi-finals.
Oh, Pat Nevin, that is going to be something special.
Absolutely. Do you know, we were watching last week the Chelsea versus Manchester United game. It was incredible. One of the most incredible games of the season. And you just look at games now, and you kind of don't know when they're going to be extra special, but there's one or two you think, it doesn't matter what happens, it will still be brilliant.
And Pat is at one of them right now. So let's get second half commentary of the Old Firm. Rangers have got a lot of work to do. Vicky Sparks.
Thanks very much, Steve. Yes, welcome back, everyone, to a once more sun-drenched but a relatively shell-shocked Ibrox. Philippe Clement, the Rangers boss, said before this game that he wants passionate players in his dressing room, not mathematicians, in terms of everybody asking him about the implications that this would have on the title race in the Scottish Premiership. But he and his side need to make some calculations and adjust some calculations for this second half, Pat, because they have been second best and then some on their home turf to Celtic, who lead by 2-0. The Celtic substitutes are out warming up. We're still awaiting the players to emerge from the tunnel, and all the Rangers players are inside the dressing room.
Yeah, I mean, there's changes have to be made by Rangers, there's no doubt about that. As I say, it will be personnel, I'm pretty sure it'll be personnel, but on top of that, methodology. The way they're playing is too passive. They're not closing Celtic down enough, not asking them questions. But very early on in the game, Scales was closed down, and Rangers now got a good chance at that in the first 4 or 5 minutes. and then they haven't done it again since. And this plays absolutely into Celtic's hands, and the energy levels you're getting up top from Celtic have been absolutely incredible. So changes, even if it's not personnel, will have to be style for Rangers, because at the moment they're staring a quite clear defeat in the face.
Well, Celtic's players are emerging back out onto the pitch, and again, you know, the music is thumping, but it's the difference in atmosphere that we had before the game to before this second half, because, you know, the Celtic team were read out, huge boos, the Celtic players came out, huge boos. Now big cheers for the Rangers players as they come out of the tunnel just in front of our commentary position. But the Rangers players, they need to find a way in the second half to reconnect with the crowd and dissipate the frustration that there's been around Ibrox and focus everybody's minds on getting back into this game. It would be a remarkable turnaround, and there will be a change made by Philippe Clement at the start of this second half. Abdullah Sima, recently back from injury, replaces Scott Wright, and that could give the crowd a lift. Listen to that reaction for the man who's been in good form this season and is a big player for Rangers to have back.
He is a big player, but they needed to attack-minded changes, and certainly has energy and has speed. If he's fully fit just now, that will be needed. And he's playing against a good player in Celtic's left back, Taylor, who's, you know, he's had a good game so far, but he's going to have to push him backwards. The other player I'd go on, I do often talk about Tavernier. He's so important to Rangers, but there have been so many games where he's just been pushed back. He's not been able to get forward. He's not got any crosses in because he's been playing against Maeda and he cannot get beyond them.
So Rangers clear away towards that Celtic penalty area. Ball bounces all the way through to Joe Hart. We'll take you through the lineups in a moment. No changes for Celtic at half-time, and why would you? It's been a brilliant first half from Brendan Rodgers' side as Diomande makes the challenge for Rangers and wins the ball, and Lundstrom will play it back to Diomande in that slice of sunshine. Too much on it though for Fabio Silva, and it's all the way through with Joe Hart. So Rangers now with Butland in goal. Back four of Tavernier, Goldson, Sousa with that bandaged head after picking up a blow to the head in the first half, and Sterling. Ahead of them, it's Diomande and Lundstrom, with Sima, Lawrence and Silva now supporting Cyril Dessers up front as Goldson collects the ball for Rangers. Still that blue ticker tape, little patches of it are strewn around what is now the Rangers penalty area as a few balloons blow onto the pitch. Joe Hart's come out of his penalty area and clears away. A little bit of a nervy clearance, that got a little deflection. Celtic though still in possession as Carter Vickers picks it up outside the penalty area, and these balloons might cause an issue now. We had the blue poncho in the first half and other balloons blowing around with the players are trying to play, but Celtic now spread it out to the right hand side, and here goes Alistair Johnston out to the right and collected by Nicholas Kuhn. Johnston's continued his run, getting forward well. Good sliding challenge, very good sliding challenge by Dujon Sterling, and the ball's out of play for a Celtic throw deep in Rangers territory. They take it quickly. Sterling switched off a little bit there, and it will be a Celtic corner as it bounces behind off Sousa.
Gives a chance for Scales to come up alongside Carter Vickers, and obviously Celtic done well at the previous corner. A penalty kick out of it.
And they had a corner in the first half where they played it short and they were 2v1. They could do that again, although they're struggling again to keep the ball on the quadrant with the wind whipping round. But Fabio Silva is across. Rangers focusing on the line in the penalty area. It is 2v1 as Celtic play it to the edge of the box, and Hatate will drive, and it's held by Butland, who gets down well.
Brilliant play by Hatate there. Short corner, comes out to him. Wasn't impressed with Rangers defending there. It's becoming a style at the moment, you know, both north and south of the border, by only putting one player out for a corner, for a short corner. Still don't understand it.
Yeah, it is a strange decision. In the end, Rangers do get away with it, and Celtic have won possession midway through their own half, and Maeda will take it on. Skips past Goldson, but can't do so. Same to Tavernier, and it's picked up by Diomande, and Sousa will bring it forward for Rangers out to the left-hand side, and Dujon Sterling against Nicholas Kuhn, who's back there defending for Celtic, who are in the green and white hoops, the white shorts, the white socks. Rangers playing from left to right in this second half in the blue shirts, the white shorts and the black socks with the red trim at the top as Lundstrom will send it forwards for Rangers. It's cleared away before Sima can reach it. Diomande will send it forward though, and Lawrence plays it first time, looking for the run of Cyril Dessers. Cleared away by Iwata for Celtic, only as far as Dujon Sterling on the halfway line. And he has it for Rangers, driving forward now in field away from Kuhn, and plays it out to this right-hand side. And Abdallah Seema, who has the balloons to try and get past, as well as Greg Taylor, and almost runs into those balloons. Maida comes back, makes the challenge. Throw goes the way of Rangers. So Celtic with Hart in goal, the back four of Johnston, Carter Vickers, Scales and Taylor, O'Reilly, Iwata and Hatate in the centre, as Fabio Silva picks it up on the edge of the penalty area for Rangers, sends it back to Lundstrom midway through the Celtic half, and now Diamande has it. Kuhn, Kyogo and Maida up front for Celtic, as Rangers have it down this left-hand side. Fabio Silva trying to trick his way down to the byline. Can't do so. Blocked by Johnston at the second attempt. Heads it away. Sterling trying to latch onto it. Lundstrom will dink it forward. Fabio Silva inside the area goes down. Short shrift from referee John Beaton. I think the Rangers fans were with him that time, appealing for the penalty. Right in front of them as the ball is cleared away by Celtic. We do a VAR. They've already intervened in this game and given a Celtic penalty. They will have a look at this as Celtic win a free kick over on that far side. Pat Nevin.
I do wonder if Fabio Silva's got an inner ear problem. He seems to have great difficulty keeping his balance over there. Anytime anyone's in the vague vicinity of him, that's just not good enough, really. He just throws himself to the ground after a minor bit of contact. The referee isn't going for it, isn't at all. But a little bit better start for Rangers in the second half. Seaman's made a bit of a difference there. So Tavernier's tried to go up the front of the pitch a little bit, but as for controlling it and that final ball in the final third, still not quite good enough yet.
Rangers have won possession on the far side. A nice little 1-2 between Dessers and Seema, but Celtic get the foot in. And Maida will try and bring it forward, but they've lost possession there. Struggling to keep hold of possession at the moment, Celtic, early stages of this second half, but they lead by 2 goals to 0. Now Diamande has gone down and wins the free kick, takes it quickly. Lundstrom will send it out to this left-hand side, and Dujon Sterling, he's almost challenged by Kuhn, but will come away with it. Sterling plays it to the left, and Fabio Silva inside the penalty area, one with then the other. Oh, that might be a penalty. Oh, he's got a yellow card for diving. Fabio Silva has got a yellow card for diving. He's absolutely furious, gets up straight away. Now, he warned him in the first half, referee John Beaton. He came over to him, he made the diving sign with his hand, and he said, I'm not falling for it. He made a very quick decision there. We do have VAR. They can have another look. There are more Rangers players coming over. I'm not sure whether it's to argue with the referee, pull away Fabio Silva, or a bit of both. Tom Lawrence pulls away Fabio Silva. Cyril Dessers, now the Rangers forward, is talking to referee John Beaton. Well, Pat Nevin.
Well, there's no point in arguing about it, because the VAR will check it. They will always check these things, so there's no point in being annoyed about it. He's actually got in a good position here, Fabio Silva, so there would seem no point at all in making a dive there if he's not touched. They have a strange position that it was in, but the referee's, the assistant referee's going to look at it to start with. It's down near that end. I was going to say down there beside the Rangers fans.
Oh no, Fabio Silva, he's got to keep his head here. He's gone over to the penalty spot to guard it because he thinks this is going to be a penalty. Liam Scales for Celtic was doing exactly the same thing, and Fabio Silva's just pushed him over. What is he doing? He's got to keep his head. He's already on a yellow card. If this doesn't get overturned and that yellow card stands, he could easily get another yellow for what he's just done there. And Tom Lawrence has come across and just said, look, go away. The referee is coming over to the screen. I'm not sure he saw that with Fabio Silva, so VAR can have a look at that as well. All happening here. So let's see.
I'm just watching the replay of the penalty kick here. He's certainly on his way down before the contact, but there seems to be contact. So the referee's got a big decision to make here. But you're right, it's not his position to go and make a decision. It's going to be checked by the referee. The referee's 20 yards ahead of us, directly in front of you and I. He's listening, he's watching. He's got a huge decision to make now.
So could this be a penalty to Rangers? Referee John Beaton, who's already reversed the decision in the first half to give Celtic a penalty after a VAR review, now has the same decision to make for Rangers. So let's see. Celtic leading by 2 goals to 0. 8 minutes gone in this second half. A huge moment in this Old Firm clash. A huge moment in the Scottish Premiership title race. At the moment, Celtic are heading 4 points clear. Rangers with a game in hand. This could change everything. He makes the TV sign. It is a penalty. A penalty to Rangers, and they have a chance to get back into this game, and the yellow card for Fabio Silva for diving will be cancelled.
That's why you have VAR. We're going to try and get these things right, although Fabio Silva's shouting and bawling, he's not happy with something. What's he unhappy with now if the penalty's been given? I don't think the yellow card's been taken away. That's the odd thing. That's why Fabio Silva... Very, very strange piece of refereeing there. However, Rangers have to ignore this and get the penalty taken and scored.
Well, we'll clarify that, because he could have got put for. He could have said, look, just keep the yellow, because then you pushed over.
You know what?
Pushed over the scales.
I'm watching it time and time again. I have to say, I'm not sure there's any contact. It's very difficult to tell with the angles we're seeing. It seems to me that the Celtic defender is trying very hard to get his foot out of the way. Really hard one to call that, but they've had more angles than we've had. Big moment.
So a huge moment here for the Rangers captain James Tavernier, who has missed his last 2 penalties, including in their last game, but he doesn't miss this one. Into the top corner, and Rangers are back in this match. Are they back in the Scottish Premiership title race as well? They're within a goal of Celtic here at Ibrox. It's Rangers 1, Celtic 2.
Right, this game looked miles away from Rangers. But I said just before half-time, if they do get a goal back, everything changes. And just listen to the roar now, the noise they're going to get, the lift you're going to get from these Rangers players now on that field. We have got a game on.
We do indeed. We've got a title race on still as Celtic come down this right-hand side. Won't be reached by Nicholas Coonan. Now we talk about the atmosphere inside Ibrox. 50,000 Rangers fans, no Celtic fans in here. They were putting the pressure on in the first half on their own team. They were expressing their frustration, but listen to the support now for the home side.
And this isn't going to stop. They're going to have to get behind their team. They're still in 2-1 down. The start of the second half, Celtic haven't really created much. They've not been on the front foot at all, and certainly they need to adapt that Celtic, because they're now being slightly controlled in that midfield area, which did not happen in the first half.
And here goes Fabio Silva racing over the halfway line, driving towards that penalty area, still going, lays it off unselfishly. Seamer, little deflection, pulls it back across. Fabio Silva's there, and it's scrambled in at the far post for Rangers, and Cyril Dessers runs away celebrating, and in a moment Rangers have turned this game around at Ibrox. 50,000 fans go absolutely wild, because they have come from 2-0 down in this Old Firm clash to level it up at 2-2 with Celtic. Remarkable.
It's looking like another Old Firm classic we've got in our hands now. They could have been dead and buried before half-time, Rangers, but they kept on going at the start of the second half, particularly, and maybe 5 minutes before the half-time whistle. Clamont's made a change, but he's also had a personnel change as well. That's adapted it slightly, but the reaction has been superb, and Dessers is on hand there. But I think they've got to check for an offside there. There was a, as we say in Scotland, stramash on the goal line, and it's whether Dessers was on or offside. Oh, every single time the referee has to come over, every time.
He's come over already, John Beaton. They're also checking for a possible foul. That is what we're seeing up on the screen. Goodness me, what an Old Firm clash this has been. So much VAR action, so many goals. Is this Rangers equaliser going to stand? He's having a long look, John Beaton. It was a real scramble around that 6-yard box. Let's see what the decision is.
I couldn't see much in it, wrong with it at all.
The roar from Ibrox tells you the goal is given. It is 2-2 and Celtic are furious.
It's really difficult to know what the complaint's about. I mean, referees, Celtic players, wait a minute, he hasn't given the goal. Such confusion. This is the problem. Not getting enough information across it. It has come up as no goal. The referee pointed as if towards the spot. He's given a free kick inside. The match has gone back miles.
Yeah, complete confusion around Ibrox. Confirmation the goal is ruled out, but as Pat says, this is the confusion because he points for where the foul has been committed. We've still not seen a replay, but the foul must have have been much earlier in the build-up, because it looked as though he'd pointed back to the centre circle. Ibrox roared, everybody celebrated, including the Rangers players. The Celtic players looked aghast, and then we get clarification that actually no, they've called it back for the foul, and it's been ruled out. Well, we have had everything happening in this Old Firm clash. Isn't it always the way?
It was a long way back in the move, and it was difficult to see. But again, you've got VAR for that reason. It actually was a foul, but it was actually in Rangers' own half. A lot of play after that. I'll tell you what, it's not stopped Rangers. They're still on the front foot.
Well, we always have controversy in these games, and that's it. Was it far enough back in the attacking phase of play as well? Oh, VAR. Celtic play the ball forward. It is 2-1 that they lead by, but the change in atmosphere inside Ibrox is everything.
But the change in atmosphere with the Rangers football players there, every one of them wants on the ball now. They look fearful for about 25 minutes in the middle of the first half. There's no fear in that team now. They are attacking, they are going for it, and they are creating chances.
Here they come down the left-hand side. Dujon Sterling is stopped, but the fact that they thought that goal was given, it has we just talk about the atmosphere. Actually, it has just dwindled. I think everybody is still coming to terms with the fact they thought they'd scored, then there was the VAR check, then they thought it had been given, and then it turned out it hadn't been given.
It's the angle the referee didn't give it, and he pointed to the fine spot. That's roughly where the free kick was.
Here we go, Abdallah Sima down the right-hand side. Celtic leading by 2-1 in this thrilling Old Firm clash here on BBC Radio 5 Live. Manchester United against Liverpool. Commentary to come from 3:30, followed by Sheffield United against Chelsea at 5:30. But we couldn't have started this day off with any more drama here on 5 Live Sports as Celtic look for a free kick, and they do get one just inside their own half. Rangers 1, Celtic 2, 15 minutes gone in this second half at Ibrox.
Just in the middle of the park there, Diamandi's hilarious. He gave away a free kick, very soft, but on O'Reilly there, and honestly he's had a John Cleese faulty towers moment. He's just jumped up in the air, gone down on his knees. I tell you what, there's some referees that produce a yellow card for that. You daren't do that in an Old Firm game.
Yeah, speaking of yellow cards, we will still try and confirm whether Fabio Silva's got rescinded. So, obviously important. It's not necessarily very clear. We are investigating.
I wonder whether Brendan Rodgers is tempted to bring McGregor on now. You know, he'd rather not bring him on. He wants to get him fully fit. You know, this would be his first part of a game back after a decent amount of time out injured. But they need some control, Celtic, in that midfield, and there is no better man in Scottish football to do that than Callum McGregor.
Matate down for Celtic, wins the free kick just inside their half. They lead by 2-1. Yeah, speaking about Callum McGregor, the Celtic captain is on the bench for them today. He hasn't played since the end of February. In the build-up to this game, Brendan Rodgers saying, look, he's the sort of player that at 80% fit, he has the quality to get through a game and do very well. However, it's about whether you risk that versus the rest of the season. And let's just recap where everything stands. We've got the split in the Scottish Premiership after next weekend's round of games where the top 6 and the bottom 6 play each other to round off the season. The final derby between Rangers and Celtic will be at Celtic Park, so they've got that to think about. And they also have the issue of knowing that Rangers still have this game in hand. So let's head for an update from the rugby while we just have a break in play for a Rangers injury.
Half-time, bit of a classic here. Northampton 14, Munster 14, 2 tries apiece. O'Brien and Haley for Munster, Rahm and Tommy Freeman for the Saints. Freeman just continuing his excellent form with England and the Six Nations ghosting in to make it 14-all. It's set up brilliantly for the second half.
Thanks very much. Commentary over on 5 Sports Extra. So, Diamande was the player who was down receiving treatment, and he's back on for Rangers.
I don't know if we're frightened Rangers supporters, but you've actually hardly mentioned Kyogo's name all day. There's so little involvement from the Japanese, and he's usually so pivotal to these games, and you just wonder if Brendan Rodgers maybe wants somebody who holds the ball up a little bit better up front now.
Well, he has scored what have proved to be the winners in both Old Firm clashes this season. Kyogo Furuhashi. Suter races down the left-hand side. The Rangers centre half. What a run that was. Stopped on the edge of the penalty area. Not another VAR check for a penalty. We've had 2 given so far, thanks to VAR, as Tavernier brings it down the other end under pressure from Maida, and Butland takes his time with the clearance and just about gets away with it as Diamande plays it forward. for Seamer to chase, and he's got space up against Greg Taylor. The Rangers, Abdallah Seamer coming forward. Taylor with the block on the edge of the area. Seamer will win the header, and Lawrence will loop the ball up to the far post. It's a shocking delivery, and frustration once again expressed around Ibrox, and Celtic have a goal kick.
I think Brendan Rodgers is very, very close to making a change in it. I mean, they're second best in the second half, so he has to adapt it, you know, under so much pressure. Even just to slow the game down, change the attitude of the players, it maybe comes as no surprise that he's going to make that change now.
And that change will see the captain return. Callum McGregor is replacing Rio Hatate. And more changes afoot as well. Nicholas Kuhn is replaced by Yang Hyun-jun. Looked for a moment as though it might be a triple change for Celtic, but they're just going to have the double. And confirmation that Fabio Silva's yellow card was rescinded. The confusion around that was he then pushed over Liam Scales. So it was rescinded for the dive, that obviously when you give the penalty, you've got to rescind that because it's no longer simulation. But we wondered, because he was so furious, Fabio Silva, even when the referee came over to him, that whether he just said, right, but you still get one for pushing over Liam Scales guarding the penalty spot. I think he was still just fuming about the fact that the referee said he dived. But anyway, Rangers got the penalty. It was scored by Tavernier. They then thought that Dessus has equalised seconds later. But that goal was ruled out for a foul in the build-up. It's Rangers 1, it's Celtic 2. You're listening to BBC Radio 5 now.
So fairly quiet Old Firm game then.
Yeah, you've not missed much.
Not much,
if you're just tuning in. Do stay with us later for commentary of what promises to be a huge game in the Premier League. Manchester United against Liverpool from 3:30, followed by Sheffield United against Chelsea at 5:30. Here at Ibrox in the sunshine, Diamande turns on the edge of the centre circle and races over the halfway line. Advantage played. He was having his shirt pulled there as Seamer goes down. Challenged by Greg Taylor. That will be a free kick to Rangers. Wide right position midway through the Celtic half, and the referee, they have given the free kick, but he's telling him to get up because he's not going to.
Look, to me that would have been normally a yellow, I have to say. I think he's quite lucky to get away with that one, Greg Taylor. He's not been absolutely convincing in all his decisions, the referee, but I'll always give him the get out. This is the toughest game you will ever have to referee, just about.
So free kick to Rangers. Tavernier swings it in, right-footed. Fabio Silva flicks it on, but out of the penalty area. Lundstrom helps it forward once again. It's cleared away by Taylor for Celtic. Rangers send it forward once more. Lundstrom chasing down the left-hand side, but he won't keep it in, and it's behind for a Celtic goal kick. Pat Niven.
It's about Rangers trying to keep up that intensity. They've had such brilliant intensity since the start of the second half. Celtic would love to slow it down. That's why they brought McGregor on, just as I suspected and suggested they would, because they weren't controlling the game. McGregor's actually hardly had a touch yet, but he will give a lot of back calmness to that midfield. Well, certainly that's what Celtic will want.
Sousa clears it away for Rangers. Lundstrom will help it on. Well, it is a risk with his fitness, but it's a calculated one that Brendan Rodgers feels that he is able to take, as Fabio Silva won't keep that ball in down the left-hand side. But again, they're right behind their side once more, these Rangers fans. There was so much frustration in the first half where Rangers were second best. But now we've seen their side get it back to 2-1, and could have been 2-2 were it not for a goal ruled out by VAR. They sense they can get something from this game, as really they need to, as Rangers headed forward on the halfway line. Sousa with that bandaged head looking for Dujon Sterling. He does almost retain possession. He's claiming a free kick there, and he will get one over on the far side for Rangers, third of the way inside the Celtic half.
You think about it. Well, you mentioned about the wind in the second half going with Rangers. Actually, I kind of slightly poo-pooed that idea. I think you're right. I think it's a big, big difference now. Celtic have hardly got out of their own half in this entire period. Now, part of that is Rangers closing much, much higher up the field, which they had to do. But also, that wind's made a difference.
So Tavernier is over this free kick. The Rangers captain swings it high into the penalty area, and Lawrence was in there and sends it over the bar. Good run made by the Rangers attacker, but the chance is gone.
Well, you think about it in the first half when Celtic had a player that was, chasing in there, and the ball hit off him and went in the goal. Well, that time Rangers were unlucky in almost exactly the same situation. And it's not that I'm reading Brendan Rodgers' mind, but he's made the same changes I suggested again a few minutes ago.
Yes, Kyogo Furuhashi, who scored what proved to be the winners in both of the derbies this season, will be replaced by Adam Idar on loan from Norwich, joined in January, and a double change being made for Rangers. Ravi Matondo is coming on, and Todd Cantwell as well, who dropped out of the starting lineup. So Fabio Silva and Tom Lawrence coming off, Ravi Matondo and Todd Cantwell coming on for Rangers.
Do you know, there's always kind of hate figures on either side of the Old Firm. I'm convinced Celtic fans are not going to love Fabio Silva, but the Rangers fans might quite like him. He's had quite a huge effect in this game. I don't think he'll forget his first ever Old Firm game.
Absolutely not. He won the penalty that's got Rangers back into this game, having initially been booked for diving, which has been a running battle really with him and referee John Beaton this afternoon. VAR came into play as Rangers play it all the way back to Jack Butland. Idar closing down, and Butland slipping under the pressure and sending the ball straight out of play for a Celtic throw deep in Rangers territory. Rangers 1, Celtic 2 midway through the second half. Pat Nevin.
Just the change there with Lawrence and Cantwell coming on in his place. The last couple of passes from Lawrence just haven't been anywhere near good enough. So again, that's a very, very smart change. And they've taken Silva off. Obviously, he was so whipped up in this game that actually he could have ended up coming off and been sent off if he wasn't careful.
Throw into the area is claimed by Jack Butland for Rangers. Yeah, interesting one, because I don't know, I just got the sense that Fabio Silva, having won that penalty, was almost set to enjoy his best spell of the game. And he's still talking to Philippe Clement. He's not happy about having come off here, Fabio Silva, but he is now doing the high fives with the Rangers bench. It's been an interesting introduction to the Old Firm for Fabio Silva, you feel?
Well, certainly, and maybe Clement doesn't realise that yellow card was rescinded. Maybe that's the thing.
So Rangers coming down the right-hand side, challenge on Tavernier on the halfway line. He's been given the free kick, and Maida is now into the book while stopping that free kick being taken quickly. Rangers on top of the moment though, Pat. They're giving themselves a chance, and after the first half, it didn't look like that potentially was going to be the case.
Yeah, the energy levels of Celtic were so high in the first half, closing down. Just not happened anywhere close to the second half. Maida's doing it a little bit, but the rest of the team, not so much.
Here goes Tavernier, too much on it for Seamer, and again there's frustration around Ibrox, and he raises his hand, James Tavernier, but he does show again the strength of this win. There's blue ticker tape, little bits of it flying around in the air, but it's even those low balls along the ground are being picked up by the gusts around Ibrox. It's normally one of those, and there's a lot of wind, you've got to watch for the high balls. Even the low balls, it's kind of getting the momentum behind and sending passes out of play.
Yeah, and again it's zipping off the surface because there's a lot of moisture around as well. So it's very, very hard to play these passes. A lot of frustrated fans here, but there's a good deal of understanding as well that it's not an easy situation for a lot of the players.
26 minutes gone in this second half. Celtic still lead by 2-1 here at Ibrox on 5 Live, and Taylor's won the ball for them. Coming down the left-hand side, ball dinked into that central position. Yang is trying to turn away from the attentions of Dujon Sterling, but he can't do so, and here goes Ravi Matondo down the left-hand side for Rangers. Little ricochet, won't fall kindly for Todd Cantwell, his fellow substitute, and Celtic will bring it down this right-hand side, and they win the free kick just inside the Rangers' half.
It's a very hard game to come into just now. Yang's come on there, he's managed to win a foul. Well, actually, it wasn't Yang on the far side, it was O'Reilly, but he managed to win a foul, but it's so hard to get to a pace of a game like this, and right now Celtic come a little bit back into it without, as I say that, Carter Vickers just saves Celtic with a last-ditch effort.
Yeah, Dessers coming through the centre. Dessers, who's had an equaliser ruled out by VAR for a foul in the build-up. And all of Ibrox thought had been given. In the end, it turned out it was chalked off, and that's why it's Rangers 1, Celtic 2. As Rangers come down this right-hand side. A Celtic win really puts them in pole position to retain the title. As Rangers pick it up once more outside the Celtic penalty area. It's all Rangers at the moment. The blue shirts streaming forward as they pick it up 25 yards from goal. Cantwell now has it right-hand side of the penalty area. Down to the byline, he tries to go. It's pulled back to Tavernier, and it's just over the head of Dessers at the far post. And Celtic will clear up towards halfway. Idar can't reach it. Good header by Goldson. But Celtic trying to win it back. Diamande saying he got the ball. Referee John Beaton agrees. Celtic have a player down, but Rangers are continuing to play on. Ball into the area, it's cleared away, and now he will stop it because it's a head injury.
Can't believe he let it carry on there. I mean, the one thing you must stop is for head injuries, and was difficult for this angle. The referee was quite close to it. He seemed to think it should have carried on, but unless he thinks it's a complete dive and he's pretending, head injury, he must get on. Having said that, Yang's got up and he's okay.
Yes, back up to his feet. And referee John Beaton is calling for the ball. And we will be underway shortly. Callum McGregor, the Celtic captain, who has come on, has closed down quickly, plays it to Liam Scales, who plays it into the head of his captain, Callum McGregor. Rangers have won the ball back with Diamande, lashes it forward, lets it all the way through with Joe Hart.
Well, the first 15 minutes of the half, maybe 20, the Rangers were so far ahead. Brendan Rodgers is trying to make a couple of changes. It's kind of helped a little bit. We've still got to say, Celtic have been in the Rangers half maybe twice, 3 times in the last 20 or so minutes. It's one-way traffic.
Here comes Celtic though, down the left-hand side. He does ball into the penalty area. Rangers just about do enough. Butland clears away. Under pressure from Yang. Rangers have a player still down inside the penalty area. At the other end, Carter Vickers is waiting for Joe Hart to come out. And he does. Clears over the halfway line. And Celtic will play it forwards once again. Ball from O'Reilly is intercepted by Suter. It's Sterling who's limped back up to his feet for Rangers, and Connor Goldson is trying to get his teammates to play the ball out, but hasn't been able to do so. Celtic now have a player down over on the far side in the sunshine. Everything has happened in this Old Firm. Flashes, the free kick is given to Celtic midway through the Rangers half. Rangers 1, Celtic 2. Half an hour gone in this second half, and Celtic take the free kick quickly. Another Rangers player has gone down.
No, that's Sterling. He's nowhere near fit to carry on. There's no way the referee was going to let that continue, but you know, it's calmed down. I think this is not good for Rangers. Rangers want to keep the pace up as much as possible. They've got a really good momentum going, whereas for Celtic, yeah, if they can slow it down a little bit, calm it, maybe try and get, as I say, McGregor on the play. Sterling, just the way he was moving after that, I mean, that looked like as if he's got a bad one. Don't think it was a kick or anything. That was just the way he fell in the challenge as he was falling through. But it's calmed down and we can almost breathe for a moment or two. It won't last very long. Rangers will make a change by then.
They will, yeah. Kieran Dowell, he's not played since the start of January, really struggled with injury this season. He's preparing to come on. They don't have Ridvan Yilmaz on the bench, Rangers, in terms of who could replace Dujon Sterling. Yeah, Barisic, who Sterling came in for this game, but have to wait and see what happens. But it does just suck the momentum out of this game, and as you say, Pat, that is not good news for Rangers. It's not over with this result in terms of the title race, but Celtic, well, it would be theirs to lose. They go 4 points clear. Rangers have the game in hand, and the final Old Firm derby post-split will be at Celtic Park. And again, there won't be any away fans there, so it will be 60,000 roaring for Celtic. If Rangers can get an equaliser, I think it's still slight advantage Celtic. Yes, even though Rangers have that game in hand, they've still got the home derby to come. But it really makes it so much tighter as Celtic win, and they're in a great position to retain the title.
Yeah, Rangers right now, they would grab that point off you if they could possibly get it. You know, it's just over for 14 minutes to go. There's going to be a good deal of injury time added at the end as well. So they're going to try to make this change just now. It's an odd one to make with a player and Dujon Sterling injured over there. It's not him that's taking off, it's Diamande that's going to come off.
Yeah, so Sterling is back up to his feet over on the far side. Looks as though he might be able to continue, and Kieran Dowell, as Pat says, is on for Mohamed Diamande as Rangers push for this equaliser that is so integral to their hopes of winning the title this season. Celtic in possession though, over on that far side. Who is their captain? Callum McGregor, closed down by Tom Cantwell, but Johnston will bring it forward now. It's lost on the far side and then won back by Celtic, but Kieran Dowell just off the Rangers gets the foot in. They almost lose it, but do pick it up once more, and here they go over the halfway line. It is Dowell. He has Seamer to his right, slides it through. Seamer trying to get there to the byline. Celtic are saying it's gone out of play. Joe Hart's claimed it anyway, and the flag is up. It will be a Celtic goal kick.
Yeah, the ball just put a little bit too far in front. Again, it's that wind. He's played a nice little through ball. Seamer has to go up for it. He knows he's going to go straight into the advertising hoardings after it, but he's done that. He was going to lie down for a minute there and realised with 12 minutes to go, no option. Get up and get on with it.
Here is Adam Idar at the other end for Celtic, forced wide on this left-hand side. Rangers 1, Celtic 2 here on 5 Live commentary at Manchester United against Liverpool, coming up from 3:30 this afternoon, followed by Sheffield United against Chelsea, and all the build-up, of course, to that huge game at Old Trafford coming your way after the conclusion of this Old Firm clash. Here is Maida, goes down by the byline, tussling with Connor Goldson. Rangers goal kick.
Getting a little bit tired, Maida, no surprise there, the amount of work he's put on. It's a lovely dummy there he had. I think he'd done Goldson all ends up, and he just slipped as he went by. More to do with tiredness than anything else, but Rangers will want to get back on the front foot again. They've had a few minutes where it's been quieter.
Yeah, those stoppages have knocked Rangers out of their rhythm. Can they find it once again? It's cleared forward for Celtic by McGregor. Goldson under a bit of pressure from Ida, and Ida's done really well there. Gets away from him down the left-hand side. The green and white shirts arriving. Ida might go alone here into the penalty area. Pulls the ball across. Yang picks it up, pulls it to the edge of the box. Won't be collected by Iwata. Goldson's down for Rangers inside the penalty area, but Rangers are coming down this left-hand side with Dowell as they look for an equaliser here at Ibrox. Finds Matondo, hugging that left-hand touchline. Goldson back up to his feet inside his own penalty area at the other end, but Rangers have it near the Celtic box. Here is Campbell, left-hand side, couple of ricochets, might break inside the area. Matondo, effort blocked away by Castle Vickers, and will be picked up by Iwata over on that far side for Celtic, who clears long towards halfway. Chested down by Adam Idar, picked up by Tavernier. Beautiful control from the Rangers captain, almost gives it away immediately, and then Rangers play it out to the far side. Lundstrom can't keep it in. Celtic have the throw.
Well, the best thing they could have done there is get that ball out there. Goldson looks as if he can't walk now. Now, there have been a few players that have gone down. You know, Sterling didn't look as if he could carry on, but he's got up. But he's walking about limping. Goldson's definitely limping as well. But what a difference that Ida's made. He's holding the ball up better. That time he got the better of Goldson as well. That may well have just tipped it in front of Celtic's balance now, that they can get a little bit more play, hold the ball in the final third and get some control.
They've lost possession in the centre circle. Lundstrom will intercept and win it back as Goldson plays it out to this right-hand side. Todd Campbell won't reach it ahead of Greg Taylor. It's headed on towards Maida. Lundstrom in there, makes the challenge, too strong for Maida. Tavernier gets the foot in and Dow will play it forward. Here is Suter, big white bandage around his head over the halfway line as Rangers put some passes together neatly. Campbell then plays it into Greg Taylor, who's appealing for the throw, but it will go the way of Rangers. They take it quickly, well, they're about to, but the referee has just blown the whistle and said there's going to be a change made, and the change is for Celtic. Paolo Bernardo, who scored the opener at Celtic Park when these sides met back in December, is coming on. Matt O'Reilly will be replaced.
Yep, getting tired of O'Reilly there. You thought as the space opened up he would get more of the play, but he put so much effort into that first half that he is looking tired now. And Bernardo, another very forward-thinking player, who may well be able to use his pace and his skills on the break for Celtic. But all these players just now, they all look a little bit tired. I have to admit, of the two teams, Rangers seem to be physically just a little bit stronger as we get into the final phase.
And they picked up the ball on the left-hand side. Suter has it now, just outside the centre circle. Pulls it to Lundstrom. 8 minutes plus added time to play. Rangers 1, Celtic 2. Rangers really need an equaliser if their title chances aren't to dwindle significantly here at Ibrox. They want a free kick. They're not going to get one as Lundstrom goes down.
Maeda again. He was booked, wasn't he?
Tavernier will take it on this wide right-hand side.
Has to be careful there, Maeda. He's going into that tackle and he's already on a yellow card. We've had everything in this game yet, except for a sending off.
Famous last words from Pat Nevin. Tavernier swings the ball into the area. Lundstrom was up there. Flag is up anyway on this near side, and it will be behind for a Celtic goal kick.
You know, the changes Brendan Rodgers made, and obviously there was a couple of injuries too, and it was the worst thing that could have happened for Rangers. We thought that momentum, the build-up could have been affected. It has affected it to some degree. Again, Rangers still slightly stronger, slightly more on the front foot, but Celtic are back into the game a little bit more now, because of Ida holding the ball up and getting other midfielders support him as well.
Celtic trying to break towards the penalty area. Little ricochet will take it back to Jack Butland. who waves the blue shirts of his Rangers teammates forward. Hugely so. I mean, there's no mistake here. He's going to launch it long, and he's telling Goldson and Souter to move away from the penalty area, and they do so. Headed away by Liam Scales. Met on the halfway line by Yang for Celtic, and McGregor will bring it down this left-hand side, the Celtic captain. Dowell gets there and steers it back to Butland, who clears away from Maida, up over the halfway line. Rangers who pulled it back to 2-1 in the second half, having fallen behind after 21 seconds. And then seeing Riley linking his penalty down the middle. The 2-0 was a torrid first half for the home side. They've pulled it back. They thought they'd level, but a goal ruled out by VAR. It's given them hope, though, and they're pushing down this left-hand side as Lundstrom picks it up for Rangers. 7 minutes plus added time to play here at Ibrox on 5 Live. A nervous Ibrox. They know how important this equaliser would be in the title race as they pick the ball up on the edge of the area. Rangers. Dowell trying to get the shot away, cleared away by Scales, but comes out to the left-hand side, and Matondo now will send it into the area. Dessers was in there, should be cleared away by Paolo Bernardo, and he will bring it clear and play it up towards halfway. Good interception by John Souter, otherwise Eda could have been in behind there, and he squares it to Goldson as Ibrox roars their side forward once more. Goldson in the sunshine, now into the shade on this right-hand side. Too much on it though for Tavernier, and now you hear the frustration. It's behind for another Celtic goal kick. There's just over 5 minutes plus added time to play. Rangers 1, Celtic 2.
How many times has that happened in this game, particularly in the second half? The Rangers have tried to play a ball through to either a wide player or a player running through the inside forward sort of area, and it's just gone too long. And it's the conditions, and the Rangers fans are frustrated, but I just fully understand it. Having said that, Celtic are spending a lot of time defending very, very deep.
Because for them, this is a huge result. It always would be a win at Ibrox, but it's taking them 4 points clear at the top of the Scottish Premiership. And although Rangers have a game in hand to come against Dundee on Wednesday, it would still leave Celtic top. And the final derby of the season after the split, which comes after next weekend's round of fixtures, would be at Celtic Park. Here come Rangers. Campbell ricochets off him. Picked up by McGregor for Celtic, who plays it in field, but it's well intercepted by Sterling. Sterling driving towards the area, picks up Matondo left-hand side, drives the shot across, will fall to Seamer, who lashes, deflected and in! Rangers have that equaliser, and Ibrox erupts with sheer joy. A huge goal for Philip Clement's side, a huge goal in the title race in Scotland. It's Rangers 2, Celtic 2.
Well, apart from being a huge goal, it's also a cracker. Let's be fair about that. It's come across him there. He's having to take it almost in the half volley. The wind's blowing. There's no time to think about it. He has to catch it clean. And he lashes it, and it goes into the top corner. I do wonder if it gets the slightest deflection on the way on. He does not care about that at all. 2-2, 4 minutes to go. You can't call it at this point in time. You know that something's going to happen in what's left of this game. Something special, something different, something exciting.
It was fascinating as well as Ibrox finds its voice once again. He didn't even really celebrate Seamer because Rangers know, having come from 2-0 down to level it up at 2-2, if they could win this game, that puts them in the driving seat for the title. But here comes Celtic. Edar into the penalty area. Oh, they've scored! Celtic hit back immediately. Adam Edar driving it low past Jack Butland, and Ibrox is stunned into silence. Is that the title for Brendan Rodgers' side? It puts them right back in the driving seat, and Rangers are heartbroken.
They cannot believe it. I mean, the fans thought, well, there's only going to be one winner. If anyone's going to win it, it's going to be Rangers. And then immediately Celtic break up. Ida, who has actually been superb since he came on, he's held up the ball brilliantly, but on this occasion, he does more than hold on. He just shoves off a defender, but he has to keep it low. He has to keep it powerful. He does that. It's on target. An incredible end. Dare I say end to this Old Firm game? It is 3-2, and I still think there's more to come.
Unbelievable. And sometimes silence tells its own story. Ibrox is absolutely shell-shocked. All the momentum, all the noise has drained out of this stadium as the 50,000 fans try and get their heads around what has just happened. They brought themselves level. They put themselves right back in the title race, but now it's Celtic to lose once more, as is this game. What a remarkable afternoon it's been in Glasgow. We're still playing. We're heading for added time. 2 minutes plus added time to play. Wow.
I couldn't even begin to guess how long it's going to be added as well. There's been quite a few injuries, loads of substitutions as well, a bunch of goals. It could be any number of minutes at the end of this game.
Cleared away by Sterling for Rangers. Headed away by Cameron Carter-Vickers for Celtic. Rangers send it forward once more. It's all the way through with the Celtic goalkeeper Joe Hart, who picks up the ball. He's announced in February he's retiring at the end of the season from football. Joe Hart, he's set to make over 700 club appearances by that time. Will it end with lifting the title once more with Celtic? Cleared away by Rangers. Up towards that penalty area. Here is Dessus, heads it out to the right-hand side, and Abdallah Sima, the blue shirts getting forward as they have to do. Sima heads it on the edge of the penalty area. Campbell tries to latch onto it, can't do so. Tavernier sends it forward. Here's Campbell in space, early ball in, headed away by Scales at the back. It's out for a Rangers throw. They take it quickly. Here's Campbell to Tavernier, back to Campbell once more. Wide right position. Celtic leading by 3 goals to 2 here on BBC Radio 5 Live, but Rangers have won a free kick. Again, wide right position, just about level with the penalty spot on this right-hand side, and Tavernier's over it.
I was looking at the goalkeeper Butland, wondering if he was going to come up for this one as well. But there's going to be quite a few minutes. There'll be more even after this free kick from Tavernier.
So Tavernier to send it in. The Rangers captain, it swung in high and the header was missed on the penalty spot. They're all appealing for it. Rangers want a corner, but it won't be. A huge opportunity up from the back, and it's been sent wide. Goldson was up there. 8 minutes of added time. There is still time for Rangers. To be honest, there's time for anything to happen in this game.
Anything, and indeed everything that happened in this game. 8 minutes, that's a fair reflection of the amount of time that should be added. There was a lot happening in that second half there, and that will really boil. I mean, they left the Rangers fans, and in fact they seem shocked at the 8 minutes there, but the players now know there is a chance, at least one chance, to get themselves back level.
I think they're still thinking about that Adam Idar goal. Remarkable. When it came, it was such a calm finish as well from Idar. The Celtic substitute as Rangers have it outside their own penalty area. Dangerous ball into his own box by Dowell. Possible handball against Yang, not given. Sterling gets a foot in, down to the corner flag he goes. Does brilliantly. Plays it off Yang, wins the throw, did brilliantly to first get it away from him in the area, then to prevent the corner, and then to end up with a Rangers throw. That's outstanding defending from Dujon Sterling.
To be fair, he has been exceptional today, hasn't he, Dujon Sterling? I think he's maybe even his best game that he's had in a Rangers shirt.
Will it all come to nothing though? Having equalised late on through Abdallah Sima's goal and then conceding immediately at the other end to Adam Idar. It's Rangers 2, it's Celtic 3. Celtic are heading 4 points clear at the top of the Scottish Premiership. Rangers have a game in hand, but it really, really does put Celtic in the driving seat for the title. With the final Old Firm clash to come at Celtic Park, it would be Celtics and Brendan Rodgers to lose this title. If Rangers get an equaliser, it is so much closer in the grand scheme of things, as the ball is cleared away by Johnston at the back. Matondo will keep it in for Rangers, might let it bounce for the corner, and Johnston's turn to do brilliantly there. Plays it off Matondo. Celtic goal kick.
Yeah, mayhem in the bottom corner. They tried to put it out, but caught in the wind and come back in again. Just look at everybody around. I mean, there's no smiles. Well, there's one or two in the box that the Celtic directors are smiling, but they're shocked. They're amazed at what's going on here, but they do expect a little lift. How many times can Rangers come back, though? They've come back so many times in this game. They have to do it again.
2 minutes of the minimum 8 have been played. Tavernier clears it forward. Rangers 2, Celtic 3, as it breaks to Cantwell, lays it off well to Dessers. 25 yards from goal, tries to play it to Matondo. Campbell latches onto it instead in the area. The blue shirts getting forward. Campbell forced wide over on that left hand side, pulls it back to John Lundstrom, and now Matondo has it on the left hand side of the box. Couple of steppos, goes for the corner. What a goal! What a goal from Ravi Matondo! And he's levelled things up for Rangers, and this topsy-turvy title race in Scotland takes another remarkable twist. Rangers
Another absolutely brilliant goal there. The substitutions have had a huge effect in this game so far, but Rotondo's had a couple of half chances beforehand, didn't give up at all, and he's got the ball on the left-hand side there, cut inside. No attempt to tackle him. People scared to make the tackles in the box there, but he's still got a huge amount to do, and he curls it into the back post against a top quality goalkeeper in Joe Hart, and that's 3-0. What a goal, what a game.
A stunner, an absolute stunner from Rabbi Matondo, and we are all square at Ibrox. And once again, this title race is back on, and then some. If it finishes like this, it'll be as you were. Celtic a point clear, Rangers with a game in hand. If they beat Dundee on Wednesday, they'll go top with that final derby to come at Celtic Park, but they missed the ball inside the area. It's pulled back. Can Celtic get another goal? Immediately hitting back after a Rangers equaliser. Rangers, no. They win a free kick. Dessers has gone down, and it's a free kick to Rangers, and Ibrox once more is roaring their side to the rafters. They believe.
They're really going for it now. They're going to put this one long, going to smash it up. Everyone's going up for it at all. You know Ball's not going to play this shot. Rangers are going to try for one last opportunity. Dessers is injured, but he's getting up and getting on with it.
Butland sends it long. Scales heads away for Celtic. Chested down by Lundstrom. Dowell loses out for Rangers. Forward by Maida, but nobody's up there in a green and white shirt, and Sousa can play it forward. 3.5 minutes of added time to play. Can Rangers win it in the closing stages? Can Celtic break away and get another goal? Anything could happen here on 5 Live, as Ida's won it for Celtic on the halfway line. Campbell trying to win the ball back. Lundstrom will come across. He's had a brilliant last 15 minutes, Lundstrom, as he plays the ball back to Butland, who clears on up towards halfway.
A lot of players have had brilliant games today. Celtic lost 3 goals, but I think Scales has been absolutely amazing. And now Celtic have got a chance to get a ball inside the Rangers half. Will they go long for it? Will they put it into the back post? Or will they accept the point that they've got just now? No chance. Neither of these teams are going to accept a point. They're both going for it right to the end.
So Paolo Bernardo wins that free kick. A draw possibly just favours Celtic, given that that final derby is at Celtic Park, even though Rangers have this game in hand. But as you said before the game, a draw means that both sides know it is in their own hands. So, free kick to Celtic. It's 3-3 here on 5 Live. We've got 2 minutes of added time to play. Bernardo swings it high. Butland watches all the way. Straight behind. Rangers goal kick.
That's the last thing you want to do. You do not put the ball out of play and give an easy possession to the opposition in this situation. The Rangers are going to make another change as well. Golson, it has to be said, he was struggling a little bit with the injury beforehand. He just getting a really tough time to come on, so understandably Clement has made a change there at the back, and Rangers have got a new centre-half with a little bit more energy on.
Yeah, he's got to have energy for 90 seconds. He's got to have concentration for 90 seconds as Dessers is trying to get in behind. Carter Vickers clears away. It's out for a Rangers throw. We're into the final 90 seconds of added time. Rangers 3, Celtic 3. It's been an old firm clash for the ages. It's the biggest match between these two in the league for well over a decade because of what is riding on it. It's 3-3. We've had so much drama. Is there to be another late twist here on 5 Live as Bernardo wins the throw for Celtic over on the far side, just inside the Rangers half?
And again, underline, Celtic aren't taking it easy. They want to get the ball. They want to play it quickly. They want to get into attack. And you just love these games where it's like almost like a cup tie, you know, a cup semi-final or a final. Both of them slugging it out to the end. I just wish there was extra time to come.
It's exactly what it feels like, Pat. You're spot on. The Celtic play the ball towards the area. It's over the head of Maida. 45 seconds to play. And Rangers with a goal kick and perhaps one last chance to win this, which would put them very much in the driving seat to win only their second Scottish Premiership title in 13 years. Seaman's gone down, no free kick, throw to Celtic midway through their own half. 3-3.
Just looking at everyone, look, the work rate, the exhaustion, how will they react at the end of the game? I'll tell you what, the referee, go and have a long hot bath and relax, mate. Heart rate must be over 200.
15 seconds to play. Rangers have won it. Tavernier sends the ball forward. Scales with the header away for Celtic. Tackles flying in. Dessers drives just past the post with Hart on stretch, and Ibrox thought that was the moment.
They did, and I think Cantwell would have rather had the free kick. He's about 25 yards out. I think he was fouled there. Referee allowed it to go on, and it gave Dessers a chance to have a shot. Caught it well, just getting past the post. What an end to the game that would have been.
It just would have summed it up, wouldn't it, Pat? It was narrowly wide. I mean, Hart got across and down really well, really quickly. Might have saved it, but it had power.
Clement, he's shouting he wanted the free kick, because he knew he's got a player in Tavernier who would have loved that from there.
The final whistle goes. What a breathless end to this Old Firm clash. This is a special fixture, and we have had a special game as it all spills over a little bit at full time. There's pushing and shoving between the Rangers and the Celtic players. Philip Clement's run onto the pitch to pull some of his players away. Souter and Scales in particular. Joe Hart has come to get involved as well. But Pat, we have seen an Old Firm encounter for the ages here. It finishes 3-3.
Yeah, a mere classic, an instant classic. Part of the reason was because the conditions were difficult. It led to some mistakes, but in amongst that was some good football as well. It never slowed down from the first to the very last minute. There was incidents, there was goals, there was bookings, there was VARs all over the place, there was fans changing their thoughts every second. Rangers fans were in the depths of depression, and then there were the heights of utter excitement. It just kept on changing. It's a real shame here. It's finished this moment here where all the players are kind of facing up to each other and they're walking away from each other just now. I will say one thing. Both managers, right at the end, turned round to each other with the broadest of grins and gave each other a big hug. Now that's actually brilliant to see that. At least they understood that this has been a classic and it's all going to happen again in a few weeks' time.
And there will still be so much on the line, because in terms of the table, we're as you were. Celtic are a point clear of Rangers, who have that game in hand against Dundee on Wednesday. If they win that, they will go 2 points clear. Then we have the final round of fixtures next weekend of the regular season, and then it's the split where the top six and the bottom six in the Scottish Premiership play each other to round off the season, and the final derby will be at Celtic Park. It is a thrilling finish to this season, just as it was a thrilling finish to this game. It started so brilliantly as well. Celtic ahead after 21 seconds, but those three late goals, Rangers equalising, Celtic going up the other end and scoring immediately, but then Rami Matondo, 93rd minute equaliser. As you say, we go again, they go again. The title race still very much on. What a game at Ibrox. It finishes in this Old Firm clash for the ages. Rangers 3, Celtic 3.